Crew.
It is the Whisper Crew saying hello.
Boom.
We're there. How's everybody? I'm turning that off. Okay.
Open up Twitch, maybe? Yeah.
I mean, you can if you want to.
So I can discuss.
I got
Hello.
the chat open.
That's what I want. Oh.
Yeah, that's the main thing. And hopefully, Taryn will let us know if the audio isn't right, because that's always my greatest fear in these games. Because that's all for me. That is a common. I think for a lot of us, it's like the most common problem with streaming. There we go.
And it's the thing I stress out about the most.
Yes. That's the reason that I stopped streaming for a while.
I saw an entire guide online. Literally, the only point of it was, here's a way you can check your audio without going live first.
How?
It's like 6 pages. I didn't read it.
Understood.
When I get to the point where I'm running OBS myself, hopefully, fingers crossed. Running.
One of the things that I'm looking forward to in future game, from now on Variant Roles, I'm happy to either run tech or run the game, but not both.
I really don't feel like the DM should ever be the one who has to run.
I don't mind it for this game, because this game is just a home game that we share with our friends.
Yeah.
It's different on VR.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Here, it's just, what's up, y'all? And if something doesn't work, it doesn't matter.
Super casual.
Cash. Oh, wait.
Cash.
Which anybody can tell by the level of my production quality, honestly.
So what are these little human icons next to us on the overlay?
Those are the Whisper icons. Have you not noticed the Whisper icons?
They've been there every game for weeks. Like months.
I feel like since session... Were they
3?
there in session 1? They were definitely there since session, like
3, I think.
3,
2 or 3.
So that's the Whisper icon?
That's the Whisper icon.
Listen, it took a lot to find icons that I liked, and I didn't ever get. Have you not seen? For the spider icon, I had to change it up and use a web instead of a spider because people not so much fan of spiders. There's a cutter, which is just this dagger, a hound. I think there's only ones that we have in this group. Let me see. Leech.
A leech?
A leech. I use the caduceus, the medical symbol, which doesn't apply to all leeches, but does apply to our leech.
Because our leech is the best.
When they're here.
Valid.
When they're here.
I'm so sad. I don't know where Forta is. Forta probably fell asleep and didn't wake up.
I mean, to be fair, Molly has had that problem in the past.
I'm not talking about Rhodes. So, since we are here, Matt, would you like to catch Jesse up on the last X number of weeks on what y'all have done? It's like 3 weeks, I think.
How long have I been gone?
So it's just 2 sessions.
Just 2 sessions, right?
So session 9, you definitely weren't here for. Session 8 was the steal a boat. Were you here when they stole a boat?
Yes. Yes. I have the note that says session 8, and then I have none notes.
But you do remember stealing the boat, right?
I remember stealing the boat because that was a session where I was kind of like didn't really do anything.
So
I was
session 9.
Session 9
started.
Session 9. I heard about. Oh, session 9 I watched.
Okay.
So session 9, that was the one where the
Broken Ministry stole a book. Then PAX happened.
PAX happened, but you also just kind of like skimmed over the fact that like Beryl got his first trauma, and you guys killed like 4 guards,
and a scholar type.
Well, I didn't think I needed to get into the high details because you saw it.
This is for our audience.
Taryn, you still there?
Taryn's still there. And then, would you like to? Last week was a lot.
We
decided
we wanted to get some of the heat off of us, not less of the like heat, more like the narrative heat, because people looking for us. So we decided to try to pin it on the billhook. So we dressed up with some, gear that would suggest, but not like beat people over the head with the concept that we were with the billhooks, used their weapons, and we went to go beat down the Devil's Tooth, which is near the rail station, which is where the Ministry might have eyes.
It's like a combination. It's like an alchemical drug den.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good place
It's
to
good.
beat
It's
up.
great.
Don't worry
It's a
about it.
place that we would hang out in real life. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So, on our way there,
things went.
an event happened, and
What?
a demon appeared of
What?
Earth
Okay.
and offered Beryl a gift of savagery. I think is the best way to put it.
That's exactly
And
right.
he said yes. He said yes, and that inspired the remainder of the score.
I'm never leaving again.
Good call.
That's okay. Nope.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Oh, this elemental's name was Argaz, I believe.
Do you remember?
I need to rewatch these VODs.
Do
Do I remember the first instant of demon the orgy? Was it an orgy? No.
Listen,
Am I
as
thinking
much
of Devilman
as
Crybaby?
I don't know what you're thinking of, I just
Thinking of
know
Devilman Crybaby.
that I
Confused.
just know that I have not pushed on anybody's lines and veils in that particular direction.
Okay.
Okay. That would be a different game. Anyways, that was the cult meeting, though, that you're thinking of.
The Earth, Wind, and Fire demons.
Yes,
there
that's
we
what
go.
I was
Thank
trying to
you.
remember. Say, do you remember? Because it's literally it was that night and that song,
In that song.
and that's what themed the demons. So there was an earth
Yeah.
demon.
Remember
Because
this.
that's a danger clock that Beryl has had going. Guess what? Beryl has a second danger clock about demons. He's already indulged in savagery.
Great. Awesome. Amazing.
However, Beryl's not here tonight, so that's not a problem. However, Avalia, what did
after
Avalia
that-
do? Yeah, let's not put
after
this all
that-
on Beryl.
Yeah,
God.
so that
Oh my
happened.
God.
That inspired the session, the score. That wasn't just Beryl's actions afterwards. It's, Avalia she likes demons on a fundamental level. So we busted in this place, and we were hitting people in the face. That was mostly Moorland, but hitting people in the face, to be honest. And trying to subdue the circumstances, and things slowly escalated.
Not that slowly, but okay.
Oh God.
And
Okay.
then Almalia handed Beryl a billhook and said, there was someone that was like mouthy or something. He said, show them savagery. And so he cut his hand off. Beryl cut this person's hand off.
So this explains Chase's RP in the RP chat.
Probably. I'm really behind on the RP chat.
I'm very behind on the RP chat.
Oh yeah. No, that does explain it. Yep, I'm
Alright.
looking at it.
Okay, those were
and-
some strong emotions I had no context for.
Well,
Yes.
but
And-
it gets worse. Oh, it gets worse.
It gets worse. So then eventually,
That's like mild. That's like, okay, we can deal with a
so
cut off
eventually,
hand.
Moreland's cat jumped on. I believe it was my guess was Mistress Kember's, a lady who seemed to be in charge.
Mistress Kimber.
Okay.
And she is like holding a syringe to the cat. So Moreland's like, "Nah, B," and shot her in the face, and she hardcore died.
I think I listened to that part when I was walking to the bar that I was going to that night, and I was freaking out a little bit on the streets of Canton, New York.
Then, because we'd already killed someone. There's no record.
At this, it's already got crossed the line, so why worry about a line anymore?
Yeah.
Oh God.
So if Malia invoked a ritual and opened a portal to the bottom of the Void Sea and blasted a wall open and killed a bunch of people, because we got to make sure the Ministry notices. And
It washed away the blood.
washed away all the blood, and then
What?
we left. Then we left. We got a little bit of
I'm
money.
sorry. Excuse? Why? Why? Why?
Well, I wanted to.
The best part was Oh, thank you, Taryn. Thank you, buddy.
Taryn!
Thank you. The best may be relative, but like for a while it was in doubt. This was even gonna get pinned on the bill hooks. That was a thing. Oh, would you like Matt to remember what this wasn't something Ovmalia said. This was something Crime Nat said. About stress when people were wondering why you weren't doing these other things.
Rand was wondering, like if I had a system or like
at this point, because we're like half to 2/3 of the way through the session, and Avmalia still has 0 stress.
So when he asked, our response was, "I'm saving my stress for other things, more important things." Well, I have a plan for my stress.
Yes, I have a plan for my stress.
Do you?
That was invoking the ritual.
The ritual takes 6 stress, and I wanted to be able to push it, which I didn't end up having to because Beryl assisted by carving down his chest with a bill hook.
Yeah. Beryl literally just cut himself to empower the ritual.
Beryl cut himself?
Yes.
Beryl cut Beryl? Oh.
The pain fueled the
blood magic.
My God.
Blood for the blood god.
Oh my God.
Blood for the blood throne.
Done.
So in case you were wondering if Avmalia was a good person.
Are any of us good people?
The answer is does not apply, is not a person.
So let's be clear. There are... Moral relativism is definitely a thing here. And you can be less evil.
Less evil.
I would suggest that last week, the crew overall
We were pretty evil.
changed a tier in their level of evil. Yeah. Like, before, you were like, okay, the system has beat us down. There are no good options here. This is the only way to survive in a system that has constantly oppressed us. And you went from that to, we did a bad thing.
We did a bad thing.
This session can actually just be 3 hours of eyes being like, Avmalia, what the fuck?
Alright, here, let me start now. Avmalia, what the fuck?
So, I understand, however, that Eyes overindulged in her vice. What is her vice again?
She gets high on drugs.
High on the and what does that look like?
She likes to visit she has a favorite opium den. Opium den. I've been in the North Country too long. She has a favorite opium den, and if she indulges too hard, she doesn't go home.
Where is her? Remind me. Where is her vice purveyor?
Her vice purveyor is the Travin's Smoke Shops in Coleridge.
Yes, Travin's Smoke Shop in Coleridge. There we go. I'm looking back. I'm just fine. Okay. And she overindulged somehow, yes?
Correct.
What does that look like?
I think to flavor this, to explain, we're gonna get anyways. To flavor this to why I was missing, I think this happened after the boat heist where...
Sure.
Where poor Eyes is feeling a little less than helpful when it doesn't come to ghosty things. And just went to her local, and the whole thing with Rhodes and everything. Just went to her favorite little nook and spent a lot of her. I mean, I don't know. I guess I could spend a coin if we really want to. No. Let's just flavor text.
If anybody hears about the coin, it's you.
Yes, correct. But anyways, I got really ridiculously high.
Don't forget Beryl's coin obsession.
I feel like Beryl probably has a stronger. Maybe Beryl's coin obsession is a little more respectable than mine.
He has a family to take care of.
He has a family. Mine is just, I want money. Money, please. Money, please. She gets really high. She kind of like that a scene in Sherlock Holmes with Robert Downey Jr. I want to say, if I'm picking the right Sherlock Holmes, and he just gets like totally stupefied on a lounge chair, and like she doesn't have a Watson to pull her out of it, so she just kept going and going and going, and a couple days passed, and no one got her.
So
sounds sad.
So is this Lost or is this Attracts Trouble?
Well, okay, so originally I thought Lost, but I think after this she probably would have like stumbled out and maybe like picked some fights or like attempted to pick fights with ghosts. I want to work in how I got my command. I think I'm feeling very cocky now that Nyrix isn't here to the best of my knowledge.
Nyrix is not currently an issue.
Correct, in Eyes' mind.
I mean, no, in general, Eyes is correct. I mean, y'all dealt with Nyrix. That's
yes.
Not to say. I mean, ghosts are ghosts, right?
Ghosts are ghosts. He might reappear.
But I think it's fair to let that one breathe for a little while.
But yeah, I think she would go out and like try to. She's just like attunes and is not picking fights, but attempting to command the spirits, or maybe peering into the spirits of like some dangerous people or whatever.
Okay.
She's gonna get strong in the ghost realm.
Strunk. Well,
Strunk.
So you've chosen to attract trouble,
I want to attract trouble,
which is kind of honestly one of the better choices for y'all because, as we remembered too late last week, your crew is capital S slippery. When you roll in, it has two effects, but one of them is when you roll entanglements, roll twice and keep the one you want. So you are currently at wanted 0, which is really good. That's because you've got 2 members in prison, and that has reduced.
That's really good.
Good is one way to look at it. So you're going to have 2 choices here.
Mm-hmm.
I think of Malia's choice of words would be that it is useful.
So
one choice is gang trouble or the usual suspects, and the other choice is gang trouble or usual suspects. So you got gang trouble or usual. It's because they were both.
We rolled low.
A 3 and a 1. Yeah, you rolled. These are literally the least complicated ones you can get.
Okay, good.
So gang trouble. You don't have any cohorts right now. You have not chosen to hire one.
No.
So instead, the Bluecoats grab someone in the periphery of your crew. One player volunteers a friend or vice purveyor as the person most likely to be taken. I think it's fair that this is just a suggestion. This is not a ruling by any stretch. I suggest it makes sense fictionally that this is somebody related to Eyes somehow.
Oh yeah.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
Lay it on me, Matt.
It's a dumb idea.
Oh god.
In the sense that it's really bad for us, but Malia has been like very flippantly leaving the Nyrix bottle just around and the place. What if it goes missing? What if someone took it?
I
For the
fucking
record, this
knew
is
you were careless about that.
For the record, this is a ghost spirit bottle containing a spirit that we like. They were a problem in the past.
I think it could be that, but are the Bluecoats going to pick up a spirit bottle, or are they going to arrest? They're going to go question a friend.
It's a creative.
It is. It's fine.
It is a creative solution. I feel like if they're gonna arrest anyone,
it's really just for questioning. It's not necessarily an arrest.
I think if they're going to question anyone, then it would probably be my vice purveyor, seeing as I overindulged.
Ooh, now we said that's Traven's smoke shop.
Yeah.
Can you make a fortune roll for me? Right under where you have strange friends on your sheet.
Oh, I saw it. I saw it. There it is. Number of dice. 1 minute.
Do 1.
Why does it default to 0?
Because it's the first number.
3.
3. You take 2 heat as Traven doesn't take any harm. Or you can pay them off when you find out that Traven's been taken in for questioning. You can pay off the blue coats with 1 coin if you choose.
So 1 coin or 2 heat?
No. 2 heat.
Done. You have 2 heat now.
Almost.
So, Traven, I'm curious, what does Traven know about you that helps generate heat?
I think he knows that I hang out with Bart, Beryl. What are you? I can't read sign that fast, Matt. I saw a Y. I saw a Y and a D.
Oh, it was when it goes forward. That. I was signing what you were saying because he was like, pause. It was entertaining to me. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I keep going. I love it. Yeah, I think he knows I hang out with Bart. I think they know we are in a crew together, and that Bart we also are in a crew with 2 people that are currently in jail, and so I am suspicious.
You're suspicious as fuck. Okay, links eyes to.
And like it's like, why is this seamstress laundress like hanging out with 2 people who are in jail and someone who is very loud, and Bart does a lot of consorting and swaying with guards to get our heat off.
I mean, and like Bart was probably seen around a demon recently. Like
Bart.
That's T.
Damn it, Bart.
Yeah, blame Bart here.
Yeah,
Bart has been absorbing all the consequences into his danger clocks, and that's why that danger clock getting ticked, because y'all kept doing spoopy stuff. We needed complications and devil's bargains, and the devil's bargains were he's giving in to the demon of savagery. Which reminds me,
like our spoopy, Kyle.
Oh yeah, no, that's great. I mean, I'm glad that we didn't go with just like, Bravos or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't spoop shame.
I mean, as it is,
Spoop shame.
my original pitch for this game was way more spoopy because I wanted to play Occultists to a Forgotten God. And we worked that down to shadows.
That may have inspired Malia's design in part.
Fair.
It might have inspired Iza's whole shtick.
So
Delicious.
Delicious.
So probably, I think that Traven is probably not super happy about this. And the next time you indulge your vice, I think there's going to be like a short scene about that.
Okay. So that's going to be at the end of the session because I have a trauma.
You have a trauma?
I have a trauma. I've had paranoid for a while.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I had to indulge my vice.
Yes.
So, in terms of roleplay scenes, are y'all looking to have a scene where Eyes calls Avmalia on y'all's bullshit? Or would you figure out what sorts of things you want to do next? Because let's review the state of your crew very quickly. You are currently Tier 1 Stronghold, and probably 2, maybe 3 more scores from trying to tier up to Tier 2. But in order to do that, you need 8 more coin.
Alright, Jesse, let's power level this shit.
Okay.
So, you need to think about what's going to get you coin, because right now you can't pay for it. Oh, also, let's see, you have a hidden lair with quarters in it living quarters. You
Mm-hmm,
have a secure vault. Yeah, you have both vaults to store your coin in now. You have a workshop for tinkering and alchemy and a small library of books, documents, and maps. Um, you are bound in darkness somehow. You are synchronized somehow. And you are very close to getting another special ability as a crew. You'll probably get it after tonight. Additionally, you now have a prison claim that I think that y'all decided on. Y'all decided on one, right?
I think it was smuggling.
I think
That's what my
Also-
brain is saying.
I think you are correct. And can I just say that you are synchronized somehow is such a brand for this crew?
Well, it's because we're bound in darkness, so that we can be doing a bunch of eclectic bullshit, and like we just whisper in each other's ears the spoopy dark secrets, and we get it done.
You have so smuggling. You arrange smuggling channels inside. You have +2 load while incarcerated, starting from 0 as a prisoner. So if you ever did a job involving somebody on the inside, involving having one of your people on the inside, they would have +2 load. Also, you can choose to carry coin in place of load for purposes of bribes or acquiring assets while in prison. This also means that the next time you get a prison claim, you have the choice of allied claim or hard case, and it sounded like y'all were leaning towards allied claim. Although I would suggest that hard case is really good. Hard case. When your crew advances tier, it costs 2 fewer coins than it normally would.
That's solid.
More coin is good.
But yeah, that's only going to happen a few times. So allied, come to think of it, allied claim from a power game perspective is probably more useful.
Yeah, because there are some claims we could take the allied claim that are like get some money every score.
Yeah, I'd be down to do that.
So in the meantime, what are y'all thinking about doing? Or are y'all looking to? Is there anybody in town that you want to go talk to? And this is really very player driven. So what are you? Doskvol is yours tonight.
Jesse hasn't been here in a few weeks. I'm interested in what Jesse wants to do.
I think I want to little game flavoring because I've overindulged and it was gone. I think I have stumbled back to a very sparse train car. What's up, Avi?
Hello.
Just you. What happened to the others?
Oh, they went out. I don't tend to ask why or when.
Do we have any scores lined up? I need some cash.
Oh, we've been lying low after the last event.
Well, fair. You certainly made quite a ruckus both
Where have you been?
times. At the smoke shop. It's been hard. But now I need money, and money is good.
You know, between you and Moorland, you make up for my lack of lung capacity.
I am smoking a joint. Now that you've said that, I'm just going to blow it straight into your face.
Nothing.
But it's not going to kill you.
Yeah, at least you're not Moorland.
So any good scores? Should I don't want to talk to my sister.
Well, we've covered my book. We've been gearing up to go out into the Lost District, but with everyone to ground, I don't think we're doing that today. But
the little voice in your head says, "But you could."
I was thinking a little test drive. I think we figured out a way outside the lightning barrier with our boat. We could, your specialty is ghosts, my specialty is demons. How bad can it be out there? Moreland's always making such a fuss about how he's a survivor. He's not affected by these things.
We could probably find some goods to sell.
Yeah,
Make
maybe
a
we
lot
can
of
surprise
cash.
him with something to help with his plant operation.
I have
Gifts are a good way to lubricate friendships.
I have been practicing some things.
Oh, do tell.
Well, why don't we go out? The two whispers. This will
That
be
does sound fun. If we have to kill somebody, though, it's on you.
Does
I've
it
had my
count
fill.
if we kill ghosts and demons?
I don't think so.
No humans tonight.
Well, we probably won't run into any, so I don't need to answer that question.
I'm just gonna level you with a hard stare. A hard eyes trademark stare.
It just drips off her nose.
Damp.
/damp.
Slash damp.
So, are y'all saying you're just gonna go hunt demons and ghosts?
Yeah, why
We're gonna
not?
So why don't we find a little bit more of a reason to
Yes.
go out into the
Can
Deathlands? But basically, like, the point is to practice and see what it's like. The reason is probably to find something to sell.
yes.
Okay.
Like if maybe we find a contact who wants some specific item or something.
So you're looking to go to the Lost District to find some stuff to sell?
Yes. Coin.
Were we thinking Lost District or just?
Just or like outside of the lightning barrier. Hello, wine. Thank you for making your appearance.
Damn it,
Wine?
I want
I'd
some
like you to
wine.
meet. Coffee.
I've just been drinking water and now I regret it. I have many regrets at this moment about
Way to
that.
be an adult, Kyle. I'm proud of you.
The adult
Go get some whiskey
decision
on
is
break.
I had my last
The
bottle.
most adults drink is a glass of water.
No.
I hit something.
I did have an old fashioned at the movie last night, but that was whatever. I have a nice bottle of bourbon that I'm saving for a special event that. Not that this game was about that, but we got a little bit closer to last week. I'm saving it for a big national event when something changes. One way or another. It's a really expensive bottle of bourbon that somebody gave me as a present several years ago.
All right. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Anyway, I just want to get to... I'm trying not to distract myself because otherwise this session will turn into me bitching about stuff, and that's not what we're here for. So, my only suggestion, is that if you're looking to find things to sell, then your most accessible option is probably the Lost District. If you are just looking to get familiar with the sorts of bad things that are out there, you have, I would say, 3 other options.
Okay. I'd like to hear the options.
Yeah, my thought process is, I'm not necessarily looking for something to sell, but more like trying to make a purpose out of our trip. Like, we're going to be in the area.
So what other kind of purpose are you looking for? So here are the other places that you could go. 2 of them are obvious. One of them is like you can literally just sail out into the void sea, which is certainly outside the lightning barrier. I don't know how far your little boat would not necessarily be great out there.
No.
Like for reasons having little to do with the void and more to do with the sea. There's also...
Didn't we get this boat to do piracy?
You got this boat to go around the lightning barrier and go to the
We're
Lost
also
District.
talking about doing piracy.
I think that Davina was talking about doing that but I think you will need you're going to need a bigger boat.
A bigger boat.
Yeah,
Oh,
you could
shit.
use
I
the
guess
small
that's what
boat to
Maybe
get a
we're
bigger
working up
boat.
to
Guess
exactly.
that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, you could use the small boat to go board a bigger boat and take that.
Should we go steal a bigger boat?
Let's do it.
Yes, with the two of you, that's great. Your other
We're
options
terrifying.
are going out, just like into the wasteland part of the Deathlands, like where there isn't anything, and just like I don't know, killing boars in the forest or whatever. Don't do that. And the old port.
Shut down.
There is an old port from pre-deluge times before the second lightning barrier was built that is just outside of town, but diametrically opposite from where the Lost District is, that you could also go visit.
I would like to gather information.
What information would you like to gather?
If we're gonna steal a boat...
No, you don't have to steal a boat. You've already got a...
But if we're gonna steal a boat... we're gonna need a place to do it. So I'd like to I would like to gather information about a location, find a suitable location to a boat, something out in the void sea where, for instance, ships might be marooned on occasion or the visibility is particularly bad.
So
Like,
are you...
it's supernaturally black there all the time. Somewhere we might be able to strike fear.
So are you
into a
hoping
hardened
to
sailor.
steal a boat with our little boat, or look for a boat to steal, or look for a place to hide the boat? Wow. Okay.
You have currently a tier 3 boathouse that you acquired.
I was thinking of a place to do the stealing.
Okay.
Then getting a boat there is another step.
Okay.
Ideally, it would be a location that boats already have to travel in on occasion, and we get them. But that might not be a possibility.
I mean, if we're doing that, I feel like if we went down to the water's edge and attuned and looked for like souls of lost, drowned sailors.
You want to attune together to find out this information?
Whisper
heist.
So your goal, I want to make sure that I understand.
Sounds like what the fuck.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Whisper boat heist.
And hopefully, in the next
Grand Theft Boat
little bit, we have a new person to join you.
God's Rand's gonna join. Hey, welcome.
With
We're
a new
gonna
another boat.
with a new character. I want to point out.
Oh,
Because they don't want to play. They didn't want to play Wythe again because Wythe is in jail and they don't really like their character Wythe. Let's be clear. It's not that I don't, but Rand does not. I think Wythe is a great character, but they don't like the way we played that character makes them feel, which I totally understand and respect.
Oh yeah.
I've had characters before like I don't want to play this character anymore. It's turning me into some It's bringing out the parts of me I don't like. That's how I feel about that sometimes, and that's what they seem to. I don't know. The other thing is, I think that they just wanted to try something different a little bit, which is also extremely valid. But I don't know what the new character is, so and certainly they could have gotten stuck at work or whatever. So, back to this. What I would understand is you want to attune to the souls of dead sailors to find a place where there might be a ship that you can sneak up on in your little...
No. We're looking for a place that we could
good to ambush a boat.
Yes.
Okay, and you want to ambush...
But the boat doesn't need to be there already.
Okay, you want to lie in wait for a boat. When the boat comes by, you want to go up in your little bitty river launch. Let's be clear, this is like a little patrol boat that's used... Because what you stole was a blue coat patrol boat in the canals.
Yeah.
If the little engine could, then we can too.
Well, to be fair, Kyle, my plan's probably going to end up being more something like scare the...
Oh, no,
Jesus
Rand is available.
Like that.
Come on in, buddy.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. We didn't get started before he showed up.
Oh,
now
no.
everything's going to change.
Save me.
Save me. Give me freedom.
I'm very concerned.
Concerned?
Well,
It'll be fine. It'll be great.
Y'all are gonna drown. I'm just saying, your ship is going to your little canal
my
boat.
intention is not to attack the ship. Now, also, part of the information, finding a location that's close enough to shore that the waves won't overtake us.
Yes,
so
we're not going
can
like
do this.
into the sea.
Ran.
We want to steal a boat.
They want to steal. They want to steal another boat.
We want to steal a big boat.
But we already have a boat.
No. We want to steal a big boat.
So I thought when we were still in the last one, we could piracy with that one. This we can't piracy with that one. It's too small. So we need to steal another boat.
Or piracy.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
So yes.
I just
yeah.
to be honest with you, I feel like, excuse me as I log into everything because I just got home like 5 seconds ago.
Oh, there's two
I feel
Jessies on
like-
screen. Ah!
Oh hey.
I'm fixing that.
We could do with more Jessies.
No,
I'm
geez.
just so here's the
There's
thing.
2 of me. Oh, there I go.
How do we have a big boat?
There we go. So right now you have the little bitty canal patrol launch, and that's
right,
it.
which is what we were using to get into. We were gonna eventually use to get into
To the Lost District.
the Lost District and stuff.
Right.
But like, how do we maintain, if I may ask, a large boat? Like, if we get it, what
We got
Like-
a boathouse.
isn't that like a temporary thing? We don't.
No,
Actually
you did acquire. You acquired an asset. You have.
It's ours.
I'm going to suggest that what you acquired, to Rand's excellent and very wise point, is really built for holding one boat at a time. You have a boathouse, not like a large dock.
Like, it's
That's
not
okay.
a dock space.
If we get a
Yeah, but
bigger
if we
boat, we won't
Russian
need the small
nesting
one.
doll them.
Oh
You can put
god!
one boat on top of the other boat.
If we just put the other small boat inside. Okay, all right, I see.
I don't know how that works, but sure.
I
Okay.
mean, if you guys want to steal, I mean, because here's the thing, boats are like one of those things that's controlled by powerful people. Like a little shitty cop skiff is one thing, but like something that you can set sails on the sea and like go rob people. I feel like
Look, man, this is investment in our future. This
Yeah,
is our
but-
new headquarters.
So let me while y'all are mulling that over.
so. It's gonna
Why don't
be like,
why don't we put a pin in the boat heist very briefly? Because now that Ran is back, and Ran has
Oh, that's right.
2 characters in prison, perhaps you would like to introduce a new character to the crew so that you can participate more fully as a player.
were we not just having Wythe come out of prison for this?
Also, your choice. I personally think Wythe is a great character, and I find that character so entertaining. We
under
had
the
just talked
impression
about
that
right before you signed
you
on that
would-
you don't like to play Wythe.
Yeah, we were under the
Which
impression
I
that you would not
respect.
want to bring like that.
Right?
Correct.
No. It's. I don't like Wythe as a person. His character is fine. The way that I've chosen to play him. I know that sounds weird. I don't know if it makes sense to anybody else.
It totally does.
All right, the way I've chosen to play him creeps me out, and I'm like, oh, but yeah, no, Wythe is fine.
Just tone it down. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and you can
Yeah, just like less retraction.
whatever it is about Wythe that you don't like, feel free to mold. Nobody's going to call you on inconsistencies, right? Feel free to
Okay.
if it's not fun for you, make it fun for you.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I just can't get over what Jesse just said.
Less
That's
retraction.
perfection. It was perfection.
Yeah.
So
I am good with snappy one-liners.
less retraction.
And the interesting thing is, like, I have no problem with his like weird Taikarosi body horror shit. It's his attitude that really, like, when I play Wythe, I'm like, man, he needs to get the shit kicked out of him. Which
So-
is why I was like, Jesse, play my other character and beat him up.
I can help
So
out with that.
I think you already have helped out with you already have a solution to that,
Right.
which
Yes,
is that Wythe went to jail and this is true in real life, and it's even more true in this game. It's explicitly like going to jail fucks you up. It's traumatizing. It changes you. So in some way, maybe some of those edges of that character you don't like have been smoothed off because people beat the shit out of him or whatever.
Right. He was. He literally. It was so bad in prison that he got another trauma without having to do anything. So
Character development.
Yeah.
Kyle, could you boost the player mics a little bit?
I can certainly figure out how to do that, yes.
I could also just get closer to this thing. For
We can all get a little closer.
I mean, if I'm not talking loud enough, let me know.
Listen, I get up on the mic and I like to excite MC Chris in the house. All right. Does anybody
My mic isn't an awkward.
remember MC
that
Chris?
scarred me.
Yes, only from the song Fet's Vet, which is the best song that he put out.
He had other good songs. But that was a good
Kyle,
one.
I would like to direct you to Quinn's comment in the chat about what you just did.
It said, I don't know. I'm hoping they're referring to the MC Chris part and that the volume is okay now.
Is the volume okay?
That's what I really need to know.
Yeah, is the,
But is the volume okay then?
Before I break out into like Hank Hill again or something like that, where I
Another thing I really like about Birdemic Shock and Terror.
haha, gotcha. I didn't even say it, so I wasn't gonna mention it at all.
We're not going back to that one. We've passed. No. We have moved on past Birdemic. That's that we can talk about that in the after show or whatever.
All right, everyone get really close to your mics. Taryn says it's better
it
when we
helps.
get real close to our mics.
Taryn,
That's too much,
ASMR.
Kyle.
Taryn, do you like
Kyle.
it when I'm up on the mic like this, Taryn? I think you do, Taryn.
Please stop.
Quinn,
Please
well,
stop.
Quinn
Only
wants to
because I
talk
know.
about Birdemic, so
All right. Well,
You know what?
Quinn,
This
Quinn
is-
and I can talk later.
Y'all
I don't
can-
have chat open, but yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Kyle
White-
Samar.
Right. Kyle Samar. Oh my God.
That's what Taryn said in chat. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Do you want to play Wythe or do you want to play a new character? Totally your choice.
I'm just gonna play Wythe because,
Okay.
to be honest with you, I took a poll in chat, and the people that bothered to voted to play Wythe, and I also have been working for like an exorbitant amount of hours today, so I didn't have a chance to build a new character. So, I guess I could have done it yesterday, but I didn't. So,
What
All
is
right.
yesterday?
I don't know.
I believe in yesterday.
Some point where I had more free time was yesterday.
Wait, what's free time?
All my troubles seem so far away.
The thing that you had yesterday, but
Thank
you
you,
don't
Kyle.
have today.
Yesterday wasn't a great day. Let's move on from yesterday.
Okay.
It's like October. We don't talk about October.
That
Sure.
was yesterday. Okay. All right.
Sure. What is behind me does not matter. Okay. So
I wish that was like a thing that my brain was allowed to do.
when I'm driving, that's the only time that what is behind me does not matter.
In a
That's
literal
not
case
safe.
where that is something that should matter.
I mean,
Yeah.
if I'm in reverse, it matters, but then it's not really behind
that ain't
me.
Falco.
That
That ain't
okay.
Falco.
All right. Anyway,
Okay. So wife in the house. So wife is what kind of character?
Spider.
That's right. Our one spider.
That's the retractions,
Mm.
extensions, and retractions.
So, okay. It was so I could turn on your little playbook icon.
Yep.
Sorry, that's out loud.
Was it? I can't tell. Is it too loud? I forgot that I made him look like John Turturro, and that was like what I went for.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
John Turturro with abnormally long limbs and a slightly foreshortened torso. Is that right?
Yep. He's like taller than Bart by like 4 inches. He's like 6'8" or something. Anyway, yeah.
But his.
He and
Sorry,
they're
go ahead.
long. I was gonna say he and Avi exist on my iPad. They're just not done.
Well, after you showed the other night your commission, how far behind you are on your commissions, that makes sense.
Those weren't behind. That was like shit
That was
when
for
it was
fun.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, wait a minute.
That was when I had free time.
that was like, I want to do stuff that it makes me have fun. And it's like, oh.
I also
That
want
was-
to point out that Char, while in prison, because Char is apparently better at the prison thing than Wythe is.
Shocking. I mean, look, if you're a shitty, well, not shitty, if you're a really good inspector and you get disgraced because you become obsessed with the murder of your sister, like people in prison, and Ironhook especially, don't really like you very much because you probably put a lot of them in there.
Nobody likes that.
Yeah. And Char, on the other hand, is just a very short person who picks plants in the yard and like rolls them up and smokes them, probably.
So
I imagine his height is an important component of how he survived Ironhook prison.
Yep. Nobody saw him because he was just so small.
listen, there's nothing wrong with being short.
I mean, I'm probably the shortest person out of all of us, so I agree.
As Kyle learned, I'm tall.
I don't know if you are the shortest person out of all of us, but
I know you
We'll
fill
do
up
it.
that doorway in your. Okay, so important question: is that door behind you in your view? Is it a normal full size door?
It is.
then you are huge.
The reason that you would call it my Hobbit door, which is my true story. My mother was listening and was like, I was listening to your show. Did you know that they were saying that it looked like you were walking into like a Hobbit door? And I was like, no, I can't hear that when I walk away. She's like, oh, it was hilarious. And I was like, no. So
I'm so concerned right now that your mother listens to this.
nah, she's like, what are you
Fine.
doing when you're on the internet all the time? And I'm like, this is part of it. She's like, oh, I'm gonna listen to it. So that's kind of how that works. So where I live is like 100-year-old barn turned into a house, turned into 2 apartments. And so this used to just hold hay. And so it didn't have bathrooms. And so the bathrooms got tacked on to the end of the house. But they didn't like do any sort of measurement, I don't think. And so literally I have 3 steps that go down that are about a foot and a half. I literally like walk down like 4 feet from where this door is down inside.
I just know that when you went through
so
it,
much.
the top of the door was just above your head, and I was like, "Dang,
Yeah, I'm really
Rand is
tall.
like a wrestler."
Yeah,
So
I'm
tall.
Yeah, no, it's not. I wish that was true, but my parents combined together and like all extraneous family, a very small, and which has made me very small. But yeah, no, it's this weird place that I live.
All right.
You're gonna give. No, keep going.
So anyway,
I was gonna
so
say something
the
dumb.
point that I was going to say is Char, while in prison, helped out another faction that now likes the crew a little bit more because of that. What faction did you help, and how did you help them?
Yeah, so I wanted to ask because I'm a shitty min-max player. The crew sheet doesn't actually have all of our relationships
Correct.
with
That is
the
a
other
different
factions,
sheet.
right? Okay. Because I wanted to make sure that it was somebody that would be useful to have a +1 with. I also asked the rest of the crew because I was interested, because I know who I would pick for these things. Generally, whatever makes the most mechanical sense and has nothing to do with story. But I think we decided it was going to be the Silver Nails was going to be the faction that we helped because they have ghost-eating horses and they hang out in the Lost District, and it was kind of going to be like a...
The Silver Nails, the Severosi mercenaries who fought for the Empire in the Unity War and are now renowned ghost killers.
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about how you helped them out.
Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Nat, yes.
Nothing.
Continue.
I mean, just prison's a wonderful place to make new friends. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I think...
What, you're going to try to go to prison more often now?
No, I mean,
Are you gonna
don't.
instead of traumaing? Are you just gonna go to prison?
I mean, Wythe's character arc at this point now is once I get another playbook advance is to take Jailbird and then just hang out in prison as much as possible. So yes, actually. So yeah, the way that I just imagine that it's kind of like a camaraderie based on hanging out in the Deathlands, right? So I don't know what he does necessarily, but Char and the Silver Nails bond over experiences. Maybe he shares some things that he's found that work in avoiding ghosts or whatever. I didn't really think about it
That's
needing
fine.
to be like a
It doesn't
physical
need to be.
act, like he smuggled drugs for them.
No, it just says you assisted. I totally think that exchanging expertise while on the inside, is completely has a lot of verisimilitude to it. I don't want to say realistic, but realistic in that sense. And I think that is the Silver Nails in particular. That makes a lot of sense. Expertise on Deathland survival. Would the rest of you like to know any more about the Silver Nails? Because that may be relevant to some of your upcoming...
When we eventually go to the Deathlands, in some point.
Okay, so
that we
Talking
promised
about doing
to-
that today.
Who's important in the Silver Nails?
So, just real quick, Rand, this is out of character information. Before you jumped on, they were talking about either going to the Lost District themselves or out into the Deathlands just to practice killing horrors out there. Just to, like, I refer to it as killing boars in the forest, like you're grinding in an MMO.
Yeah, and an MMO.
And then
sure.
I also want to, there is an old abandoned port just outside of the city, and they were like, no, let's take our little bitty launch and go lie in wait for a bigger ship and take that over.
Man,
Sounds
this
like
is
a great idea.
One step at a time. You know, I think what we're really learning here is we need to acquire an asset to get a gang so that we can actually take over this ship.
I'm
okay.
just.
All
I'm
right.
also.
Kyle seems
Yeah.
the most excited
I
about
know, I'm
that.
like, how is it that y'all have gotten almost a tier 2 and don't have any cohorts yet? That's all.
Because
But
we're
no, we can acquire an
Because
asset for a
money.
temporary one.
right.
You could do
because
that.
No. Okay, but a cohort is a crew advancement. A cohort's a crew advancement,
Right.
not something you pay for.
Right.
You could.
That go?
It went way over towards my left, to your right. It went way off to your right. Like,
Delightful.
it just
Well,
flew.
that's why I
You have,
have
I'm assuming you have more.
backups.
Yeah, I'm like, my stack of pencils here is pretty good. So,
I'm just saying, like, in the wheelhouse of overtaking a ship. What again? The issue with White is what White does has nothing to do with hanging out on a boat, being like, "Let's take over."
y'all got two
You
whispers
plan
and a wisp and a spider, and you want to go be
scare them
pirates on
off the boat.
on the void
True.
sea.
Right.
Meanwhile, your lesbian pirate captain, which is like her nickname in Discord,
Yeah.
is AWOL for a little while.
Yep.
She's off pirating. We want to join her.
Yeah, Davina's off in the void sea, and we're like, you left us behind. Why? We need to go steal a boat so we can meet at the rendezvous point. Canon.
The
Just now.
rendezvous. All right. Well, what
The hottest bar in pirate.
the rendezvous?
The rendezvous.
So,
Yeah.
if you're just wanting to go into the Deathlands just to get that level of experience. Oh, I'm sorry. You were about to ask a question about the Silver Nails. I apologize, Jesse. What was your question about the Silver Nails?
My question was: is there like, do we know of anyone important in the?
I think that since Char is in prison making friends with them, I think it's at least fair to know who their leader is, which is somebody named Suresh. So we can, you know what? I'm going to do a thing. I'm going to add a,
Did I ask a good question? I asked a good question.
I think that you should have a crew contact with them.
Char, the most useful he's ever been in any sort of
Char is super useful every time.
in any sort of
killed
social
3
situation. Is what I'm
people.
saying.
You've
Right.
killed 3 people in the last 2 scores. That was very useful.
Yeah.
Useful.
Well, I'm just glad that I missed updating Jesse on what we did, so that I didn't have to witness the death stares and anger.
There's a lot of what the fucking.
Right. So
That's an interesting phrase, but anyway.
So the score is going to be to capture a boat, or
Again?
Or
you guys were talking about it. You've had longer to think about it than me. I'm just saying, because of the time, let's pick something to do.
We're only an hour in.
I think this
Oh, I
feels
know.
accomplishable to me. I think we can do this.
I feel
feeling a
like
boat?
I feel like this is a terrible idea, and I hate it.
So was the last one.
Yeah.
So
And the
can
one
I
before
just
that.
suggest
It's
that
true.
if
I'm not really.
if one of the
into
players is not really into it, maybe y'all can find something slightly different to do.
No.
so everybody can have fun.
I'm into it. No. Me, Rand is not into it. I don't care what we do. I just, for our gang, the random shit that people are like, now let's do this, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I just
Can
want
we just
money.
If you just want money, why don't you do some, I don't know, espionage?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Why not
I want
to
cash
your
money.
Why not go to your hunting grounds?
It's been a while. Let's go
Yeah.
for hunting grounds.
Nor.
Okay, I'm sorry. Not every single session needs to be about demons. Maybe we go to our hunting grounds and I talk to some ghosts. I want to talk
Oh
to
my
some ghosts
God.
and get some money.
Help. That's just demons and
Look,
ghosts all over the place.
We
All
were
I
this
want.
close to talking to ghosts to gather information already.
So
Okay. I mean, that's fine.
We
Night
can
Market
still
is
gather
a-
info for this ship.
Night Market is the best place to trade illicit and arcane goods in the city.
Right.
And the darker corners are full of... Hang on, I do some Kyle SMR. Of strange horrors.
Sounds good enough.
Demons and ghosts?
And as that gets cut in, Wythe just steps out in front of both of you. Demons and horrors, and Wythe comes out, and he's like limping, and his face is all messed up. So he's like, pretty much, he's been in prison for like 6 weeks, and every single day, someone has like beaten him up. And so he looks rough, and he like steps out of an alleyway where you two are both like, I don't know, what should we do? Maybe we should steal a fucking boat. I don't know. Let's talk to some ghosts about it.
Okay, when you put it like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was the voice too much? Was the voice too much? I'm
No,
sorry.
the
Okay, when
voice-
you put it like that.
Safety. We're in the safety of our hidden lair as we discuss boat theft.
Oh, okay, all right. And so yeah, you're talking you're I don't know, sewing and then also dripping on things, and White just like steps out and is like, hello, it's been a while, what are we doing? And he like looks at you and like cocks his head.
What happened to you?
And he like adjusts the cuffs of whatever shirt he's wearing, and there's obviously like blood stains on them, and he's like, well, I was in prison. They don't like me in prison. And he like smiles, and like one of his teeth is missing.
You look like shit.
I feel even worse, I'm sure, but that's not the important thing. And he like squats down, and you hear like his knees crack, and his legs go up above his head, and he's just like, but now we need to just talk about what's been happening with Rhodes and Company. And he like looks around for anybody else.
Well, we've generated a little bit of heat, so we've been kind of keeping a low profile for a little bit.
I mean,
Everyone's a little scattered to the winds right now.
I knew we generated heat. That's why I was in prison.
It happened again.
It's been worse.
And he like cracks his neck, and it's like pop, 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 and he's like, again. I was only gone for 6 weeks, and you. What? Well, how did you get out of
it?
it?
We lasted 6 weeks.
I suppose I should be grateful that you lasted that long. And his arm reaches out, and he like playfully tries to punch you in the shoulder.
I squelch.
Yep.
I'm gonna put down my knitting. This has been great. I'm glad we're catching up. You should get bandaged up. I want money. Why don't we just wander around night market and see if there are any scores to get?
No, for somebody who communes with ghosts so often and sees what the afterlife has to offer, I'm surprised you're so materially focused. You know, you can't take it with you.
But I can enjoy it here.
And White is like, has anybody been in my room?
Yes.
Did you drip on any of my papers?
I didn't go in there. I saw the cat rooting around in there.
The cat.
I think she's been sleeping in there.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a problem for another day. I'll just have to make sure Char keeps its friend out of my space.
So you have to have a conversation with Char when he gets out of jail?
Oh, I see. That's why it's so calm around here. Okay. Anyway, and he like stands up and like puts his hands behind his back, and again there's more like cracking. And he's like, so if we need to get money, because evidently that's what we're about here at Rhodes and Company, and he like snorts. He's like, then let's ply the trade of our company. Kyle, I said it only so that you would do that.
That neck movement is an important part of our balanced day breakfast.
Yep, it's true. And so he's like, I have my own concerns, but obviously, since we're here together, let's get to work.
I just want to point out, in response to a question in chat, that in Doskvol, honest work basically means either back-breaking labor for no money or basically just being a vice purveyor yourself, which is totally a legit way to play Blades in the Dark, that last part.
It's called being a hawker's crew.
Right, exactly. Yes. Or taking veteran a bunch of times and then just accruing like dens of iniquity so that you can sell people drugs.
You know what?
I mean,
let me tell you. Sometimes I watch, like when I watch Breaking Bad and stuff, I'm like, so tempting. Anyways, running dens of iniquity sounds like a good plan in life. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, and it always ends really positively for those people, too, if TV has taught me anything.
I know I'm going to save for the after show.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know plenty of people who that was their business, and then
there's other iniquities besides drugs, is what I'm saying.
Right? No, I understand. I am also saying that I know several people who have went out of business in several different markets like that, based solely on the fact that large corporations, when something became legal, were able to swoop in with thousands of times more money and be like, no. Yep, exactly. So, so I think Wythe stands up, arms on his back, and he's like sort of pacing in weird, like longing strides in this very small space, carefully trying not to step on any clothing that's just on the ground that's being like cleaned or knitted together. And he's just like, so how much further along are we in developing contacts in the night market to sell information to the highest bidder, to find people interested in us procuring said information?
Didn't y'all lose you lost somehow your contact with the Monsieur, the deal broker. I think it was
because somebody decided it would be a good idea for that person to be the reason that he like went to prison. He got picked up by like the blue coats, and so we don't have him anymore.
Another thing you could do is, I believe that one of your number has been interested in acquiring information that is tattooed on the skin of somebody that you know.
Yeah, but that's not going to get us any money. I mean,
Unless
unless
that information is worth money.
unless Eyes puts aside their desperate need for coin to then also want to make somebody into a map that goes pinned to the
Listen,
wall.
I like what Nat said. Maybe this skin tattoo now it can be sold
Okay.
for money.
Like Doskvol's a dark place. There's got to be a black market for like sigiled human flesh. Like that's just a fact of Doskvol.
That's actually not wrong.
I mean, to be honest
Wait,
with
what?
you, if I could just get like a motorcycle, like sleeveless leather jacket with a bunch of sigils on it so that ghosts don't touch me, I don't really care what the leather is made out of.
Also, like once again, I'm not interested in like the skin. I'm interested in what's written on the skin. So like
Nobody
I don't
believes
that.
that.
need
Nobody believes
the
that.
skin.
It's a lie.
That is where we differ.
The
The skin isn't necessary.
the judges have determined that is a
It'd
lie.
be convenient to
I mean-
refer to all the time.
Right. And also, what if it needs like the skin to be a component in the ritual that makes it work? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, then we need some experiments, don't we?
yeah, again, you're talking to the wrong person about experimenting with sigils. White is like, okay, so we're no further. In fact, we're further behind on developing our cruise. And he like looks at the scene style.
I mean, couldn't I go talk to Quellen, the witch, for possible work?
The one that you put into prison the last time, and
Okay,
like,
yeah. No,
blue coats?
she never went into prison. Thank
right?
you.
The blue coats just like beat her up for information.
That's exactly what happened.
That's
But
exactly what happened. But she's still fine.
No.
We're still fine.
If Amontio's
Relationships are rocky.
No, if Amontio's turned his back on us, we could just try to acquire what he had as a claim.
White is like, he looks at everybody. Now, have any of you filled out your first level of stash?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
wow,
So-
Yes.
really?
No.
You
Okay.
get
Wait.
some every time the group crew advances.
Yeah.
I never added that.
Yeah.
Every time upon crew advance, each piece that gets stashed go to tier +2.
Yeah.
So I got exactly the first line filled up.
Yeah.
I
figure
think
that
I
out
put in
later.
like
Your
one.
crew advances, not
Two.
tier, right?
Yeah, not tier.
Yeah. No,
But yeah,
no.
every advancement.
Okay.
It's just one whole line of stash means that everything that you wear and everything that you're like
right.
is nicer than it was before.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. And I think White is like 2 away because I think you need 2 if anyway, whatever. 1 or 2 coins. I can never tell
It's,
if the
it's 1 coin each to make into stash, but if you want stash back into coin, it's 2.
right for sure. But White is not upgraded yet, so he's still wearing like crappy clothes. And so you guys look like a little bit nicer than you did. I mean, not a lot nicer, but still the clothing looks better. And he's like, I'm not sure if we have the right look.
I think we have the right vibe.
We just don't have the right connections to immediately take over Amancio's gig.
Look, we can take it over, and then we'll get enough crew XP to get a crew advance, and we'll get a cohort who can run it for us.
I mean, that's nice, but I thought we had also talked about getting something useful.
That sounds useful. We'll get all the whispers and have our ears to the ground on the pulse of our hunting grounds.
Yeah, but what was that ability that we were talking about that I actually thought was... Yeah, Crow's Veil sounded way better if we're going to kill people.
Yeah, I mean, maybe...
Right.
Like, if we're actually trying to expand on our crew in the direction we originally intended, as opposed to growing in new directions, this feels like a good move.
Right. I mean, I'm all for... I honestly don't think... Because Amancio, as like a deal broker, has way more connections than we ever would. We would... Maybe try and get back in their good graces would be a better, like, realistical, and then when we're in their good graces, eventually murder them and take over their operation. Like,
It's always back to killing.
I mean, what are you talking about? This is exactly what Amalia was talking about. Murdering somebody and taking everything that they have.
I didn't actually suggest killing this time, but it was on my mind, admittedly.
Right. Well, how else would you get somebody? Do you think that we can outmaneuver?
Disgrace them, scare them to submission.
And to be able to do that, I feel like we need to be in a better position than we already are, or that we currently are. If we sidle up to Amancio and try to repair the things that we've done, perhaps do him a favor, then we would be in much better position to twist the knife in his back and take what is his. Which, in and of itself, would mean more coin.
Make it solid and well-reasoned points.
And he looks at eyes when he says more coin. So we can do this, or we can wander night market and look for a random job without a point, without a deal broker, without someone to find things for us. We will have to spend exorbitantly large amounts of time looking for information and for people ourselves. I'm not sure
that's accurate, but
okay.
I
mean, did you see how relaxed Amancio? He just like hung out and people showed up. So that's what I was.
So we go to Amancio, ask him for help again.
We have a chat.
And also look for other contacts in our downtime.
Or you could just do a gather information to find if there are other contacts to talk to.
Yeah. I mean, I'm legitimately just suggesting if you're interested in trying to turn over something, the crew can at least try and suck up to Amancio again too.
I mean, I would be more interested in like finding new contacts.
Okay, that's fine.
Fresh meat. Fresh skin suits.
I liked Snake Man, but that's okay.
And we could also go back to Amancio and do contacts
during
during downtime.
That's an interesting point. Snake Man is not Amancio.
Oh, it's not? Let's go talk to Snake Man.
Snake Man is in the Vale, who is... The proprietor is Roland Volaris, who has the body of a serpent from the waist down rather than legs. Or so people say, because he's not actually seen very often.
Snake Man.
So the Vale, just as a kind of a reset, because it has been a minute since we dealt with that. It's a social club. It's a very nice, luxurious, high-end. It's a classy joint. And it's known for its confidentiality and for its permissive policies regarding guests of arcane or unusual origin.
I think we belong there.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not very usual.
Speak for yourself.
Your knees went up above your head.
I am how I was created, from the clay of the soil and from the heart of justice.
And I would like to present to you a mirror.
He's like, we do need to make some coin. I need to replace this tooth. It looks awful.
So, if you go to the Vale, let us take a moment and imagine what this place is like. Tell me something. I'm going to ask you questions. Tell me something that you notice about this club that shows you that um, it has this permissive policy around guests of arcane or unusual origin. What's something that let's set the scene a little bit.
We've been to this club before, right? I think we have,
Um,
because I remember we talked about like pulsating fog clouds of lightning at one
so is
point.
this? Did we say that Amancio was in here? It may well be. I just can't remember. Did we say that Amancio was based here? Okay.
I think we met Amancio here.
Okay.
No,
Did
am I
we?
imagining that?
I remember
I
meeting
don't.
Amancio, and I remember what you're describing meeting Amancio. I just don't remember if it was at the Vale or
Right?
not. There are
I didn't. I thought it was another place,
there
but
are a lot of clubs, private clubs here in Night
Maybe it was
Market.
just at another club.
because Amalthea was legitimately like the first or second session,
Yeah.
and then immediately right after that, it was like now you can never go back to him, and
No,
we're like,
it was like session 4 or
We met
5.
with him. We met with him like 3 times.
Yeah.
oh, okay, all right.
So if you want it to be that same club, it can be that same club. But I don't think it was that same club.
Well, I was looking for fresh meat, so
So does that mean I'm describing the club?
no, it means new club. And yes,
Yeah, then yeah. Go ahead.
So what is the veil? What is the veil like? What's it like in there? What is something about it? I want one thing specifically, eyes to start with, that tells you that you notice that tells you that this is a place where the arcane and the unusual hang out.
I think, particularly with my ghost mind, I say yes, ghost mind. These spiritual energies in this space are very strong, whereas like usually throughout Doskvol they're kind of, little pockets scattered around. It feels like a constant. Like I walk in like the hair on my body kind of stands up because it's really reacting with the ghost
Okay.
field. Thank you. I was looking for the word. And I feel like if you look around, you see a couple folks with weirdly glowing eyes, just like me. You see some who look a little peculiar. Maybe they've got extra long limbs. Maybe their skin isn't quite right. It's just different.
Okay. What about Avmalia? What does Avmalia see that tells her?
I think that they have a particular type of iconography displayed. That is, you could, if you didn't know what it meant, you might just not think anything else of it. You might not know that it is a sign connected to arcane and more sinister entanglements.
Like what?
But it basically,
Like what? What is the
Describe it.
iconography pertain to?
it's
Since we're gonna have big demon energy up in here.
no, it means that like this is a place where things like spirits and other entities that are I'm not saying there's demons walking around, but like they aren't gonna judge you for being a whisper like some other people might.
Yes.
Yeah.
What does Wythe see that tells him that this place is comfortable with folks like him?
Yeah, I mean, what I think it's the openness at which strangeness is accepted, right? So there's less head coverings and hats and like intentionally tailored clothes and things like that. The patrons are themselves. I think the energy here is much more relaxed than it would be anywhere else. And I think for Wythe, using sort of his analytical eye, less tension surrounding sort of bodies and less sort of obvious signs of fight or flight.
Okay. So, as the three of you walk in, I think there is some relatively ethereal music playing. It's not like a pulsing nightclub.
No, we're not going to do the
Vibe.
blade scene where the blood just starts pouring. Okay, fine.
No, I think this is more like, fewer beats per minute, a little bit softer. You can actually hear each other when you talk to each other, sort of thing.
Oh, an old person bar. Okay.
Wow.
I'm
Now
thinking-
now see here.
I'm thinking it's more. It's not quite like an opium den, right? But it's got a little bit of that more relaxed vibe to it.
Yeah, no.
Right.
I got you.
And you are in luck this evening because this is one of the rare occasions in which Roland Valaris is seen in person in his club. And the rumors are true. Valaris doesn't have legs. He's a Yuan T for D&D. He's from the waist up. He is a handsome older man with sort of not long, but sort of some, grown out a little bit, gray hair, clean shaven, wears a very, very fashionable suit jacket and tie. But from the waist down, he has the alternating black, orange, and white of a coral snake. What do you do? No, it's not that. It's more like, I almost want to give it like an Enya vibe, like if Enya was demonic.
I mean, okay.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of what.
Demonic Enya.
Listen,
Yes.
don't tell my parents because they would flip out. I don't know.
A more mellow Bjork is. Anyway.
I really need to listen to this Enya person.
No, Enya is like Celtic New Age stuff.
Yeah.
She's been around forever. Anyways, so what do you do when you see him with his entourage?
Approach him.
I mean, is that what we're doing? Is this
I'm
the person
asking
that
you.
we're gonna go? No, I
That's-
know. Is this? I'm asking the crew
Fair,
if
sorry.
this is who we're talking to.
That was the
Okay.
plan.
Okay, well, Wythe will arrogantly take the lead again because that's what he does when he hangs out with you.
I'm gonna stick very close by. I've
So
learned.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Fine. So yeah, I mean, Wythe sort of like takes a stride, like a full stride, and he's kind of like steps around both of you. And it's not like exactly. And he's not like trying to edge you guys out. He's just like wants to make sure that the first person that the entourage encounters is Wythe. And he walks up and like nods and doffs his cap to this person that you mentioned, and their name is I've already forgotten it.
I'm gonna put it in Zoom.
Okay. Sorry. My tired brain is like, who this person? Roland. Okay. And
Max spooky name.
Roger. My name is Roger Spooksman. Anyway, and
I mean,
Wythe.
come on.
Yeah.
Roland Valaris sounds like a snake person.
And so he takes his hat off and nods and is like, Mr. Valaris, I presume. May I introduce Rhodes and Company? And he sort of like makes a gesture towards the two whispers.
When he speaks, you can hear. Not only do you hear his voice, but there's almost like a little bit of a psychic reverb in your mind as you hear him. And he's all, "Hello. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance."
The pleasure is almost entirely ours, I'm sure. We, as a group, are interested in procuring some of, let us say, the services of someone who is as renowned as you.
Oh, there are so few with renown like mine.
And of course, if we want to further ourselves within the game, we must have people like you around.
What sort of game are you playing at, my friend?
Only the most serious kind of game.
The most dangerous kind?
We want to hunt humans.
We want skin.
Yeah, we want to skin a bunch of people and wear it around. You got that shit going on here, bud? No, I mean, yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Ow.
Are you
What if he
okay?
sheds?
You did hit yourself pretty hard. I heard it, and I was like, "Are you okay?"
Did you actually hit yourself? I was looking at chat.
I'm okay.
Yeah. Yes, it was a very loud. This is ridiculous. Head smack.
So anyway, so he's curious, like,
Yeah.
what are you on about? What are you playing at here?
We are good at acquiring knowledge and other such artifacts. We'd like to offer our services to you.
And he looks over to who is clearly sort of his major domo, as it were, right? Is it his accountant? Is it his consigliere? It's hard to say.
All of them combined together.
Yeah, but it's just it's his one of his lieutenants, and he nods and he says and like he leans over, whispers something in the other person's ear. The person nods. This person themselves is a bit unusual. An androgynous person of shaved head, wearing a loose tunic. That's not what's unusual about them. What is unusual is their eyes.
Intrigue?
Their eyes don't have normal pupil and iris, but instead the circle in the center of the eye looks like the moon.
I'm so
Does it-
here for this visual.
Does it also look like a big pizza pie? Is it a more?
And with that, we're gonna go to break now.
We're going to break in just a moment. However, no, it doesn't. It's not like a big pizza pie.
Okay. I just wanted to make
Is it a
sure.
personal pan?
So, but this person's like edging into Ice's vibe. Like that's a step up from a ring light.
I know. I was gonna say the moon, huh? A whole like.
Maybe that's Iz's ultimate form.
Wow. Ooh.
This isn't even my final form.
That is actually you have it. That's not. Look, I want
Can I
somebody's
have that?
skin. Can I have your
Can I have
eyeballs?
your eyes?
Okay, new ritual. New
Yep.
ritual.
And when the person speaks, they say, "Perhaps we can discuss this in my office." And they gesture to a side door where there are two very beefy looking women with their arms crossed, like on either side of it, like guarding the door. Why don't we discuss this in a more private location? Are you amenable?
That sounds amenable.
Yeah, and wife like stands up and makes the motion to have the other two lead.
This is where we'll take a quick break. Okay, we're live.
So,
I'm stopping
Rand,
myself.
something about you wanting people to give you things to put inside of you.
All of it, anything that you
Yeah.
want, I'm into it.
So you like how you tried to avoid this, Kyle, and we just
We just
I
drag
like,
it
if
right
I take
back.
them, if I take them live, then they won't talk about his bottom tendencies. But
Who
What?
said anything about a bottom?
What?
tip?
what? None of us said that.
Kyle,
That
what
was-
happened? This was a choice. Your choice.
okay, fair. All right. So I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
I
just sip this
apologize.
tea that's a little bit hot. and
I'm
burn
sorry.
my mouth a
I'm
little
so.
bit.
I was so wrong. I was so wrong, and I apologize. I'm blushing now. So
Are you blushing or
That's-
is it the wine?
that
a
right
wine.
there was the first sip I'd had of the wine. I hadn't had any sip
Kyle,
before just then.
this
Oh,
is
wine
what
blush.
this would have been a wonderful opportunity for you to practice something that humans have been doing as a long time as a standing tradition in our culture. It's called lying.
I'm owning my mistake and saying I messed up on several levels right there, and I apologize, Rand.
Wow. Well, you know
So-
what? I appreciate the part of me that isn't a bottom appreciates it. The part that is a bottom is like, he's not wrong though.
Scene.
So
I'm apologizing on several levels there. Anyway, let's move on. So you are back in the office with this individual who I did not yet give a name to, as I recall.
I believe it was Domo Arigato, I think was his name. Is what
No,
he
I
called
did
him.
refer to them as a major domo, but that was more their role.
Right. No.
Yes. They tell you that you may refer to them as quests.
Quests?
Quests, like quest, but with two
Giver.
S's.
Without the T?
Yeah, with two S's instead of an ST.
D.
So like
Sorry.
I should write this down.
I'm writing them down because
I'm gonna write down the names only so that when I go back and look at the notes that I make, I'll be like, "What the hell is this? I don't remember."
This person is tied to the veil.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
Roland's. They're Roland's Domo, and their name is Quest.
You know, so I got a new mic since the last time we played. And it's like, right here. So suddenly I have much less access to my desk space.
I have a tiny desk.
Me too.
I use my drawer as further desk space.
I have I have my second monitor and my tower, and then that's it. Then I'm like,
I don't
here,
have-
let me.
I don't have room for anything else other than my laptop and my mic.
all right. So
Anyways,
as they usher you in, they do not have a tiny desk.
Well, that's good. That's a sign of that they're at least moderately wealthy and can afford to pay us for things.
In fact, their desk appears grown, cultivated, as if the wooden floor suddenly sprouted four desk-shaped legs, grew into a flat table. It's all like of one piece. Is it what? Perhaps they grew a tree in the shape of a floor and desk. Perhaps they somehow performed some other horticulture. Maybe maybe they know
Char.
something about growing plants.
I know. I was gonna say, why isn't Char here? Because Char would be like, "It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. What is this?"
can
So
ask
I
him how
have
to
a
grow
question
seeds?
though. So I have a question though. Is that desk also then radioactive and going to kill us?
Oh, like the plants? No, it's
Yeah.
not a good thing.
That took a little longer for you
some-
to answer than I'm comfortable with.
For some reason, my mind went to Spider-Man, and I was like, I don't know why. I was like, Miles Morales isn't here, because I just want to clarify that for me, forevermore, Peter Parker is no longer Spider-Man. It's only Miles Morales. I can live with
Peter
Spider
Parker
Gwen.
is Spider-Man, but he's middle aged and has a tub belly.
Listen. I identify a little too much with the new Spider-Man in that sense. So, Miles Morales is the future, and I can deal with Spider Gwen. She's cool too. Okay,
Wow, deal with. All right, here we go.
Listen, I have to. I try to hold back a little bit because she's got that cute undercut. And anyways, so moving on. Moving along.
Anyways, moving along.
There is a rather delicate matter that my employer could use some assistance with. You see, an old, shall we say, professional acquaintance has come out of retirement, and we are concerned about what this person may intend with this whatever assignment they have chosen to take. We would simply like to know their target. Right now you are asking yourself, target? But let me assure you that this individual, prior to her retirement, was known for her skills in assassination. And we are concerned. We would like to know who or what could have brought her out for this one more job. Is this something that you are able to do?
Absolutely.
They've been known to operate in and around night market mostly.
Correct.
Should be easy then.
And yet not easy enough that we will not need to expend some of our skill and abilities to find out exactly what you need.
If you are suggesting that you require payment, that is of course understood.
Payment, and we hope you can call upon us again if you need our help.
Well, let's see how this goes, and then we can consider future arrangements. Very well. The individual is known... Oh shit, I just lost it. Oh yes. Doop, 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 yes. And Quest's moon eyes start to change the phase of the moon that they're in. And they go to like sort of this waxing crescent moon.
That is impressively next level.
I love them so much.
All right, so going to get Cricket's skin and Quest's
skin,
eyes.
Quest's eyes. Just gonna make a
And
whole
Davina's
new
boat.
body.
I mean, I feel like now you're gonna turn into the blades in the dark General Grievous, where they're just gonna be like random body parts and then like a hole attached to them.
I stand.
I love it.
She's gonna go Voltron with all of my NPCs.
I need more. Kyle, I need you to make up some more NPCs for like no reason.
Who has
if they
cool-
have cool
Yeah.
physical things, attributes, that'd be sweet. Just gonna
And
make some notes.
Necessarily, they need to have one cool left arm. Another person has to have a cool right arm. All right, so yeah, I mean, wife will accept the job because this is sort of the introduction, so they're not gonna, So they're like, yeah, let's do it. And so wife extends a hand for a handshake, and of course it's like,
Creak.
Great.
Yeah, you two are like, I don't know where you are, but he is not sitting near the table. He's like, and it just you hear like a ratcheting sound. His arm comes out.
I missed this.
When you
Me
touch
too.
Quest's hand, their skin doesn't feel like regular skin. It feels smooth, and polished. One might even say lacquered,
Oh man,
like wood.
Woodman.
But it's not like a wooden hand. Like, this is clearly a hand that moves and flexes. Like, looks the same, just has a texture of smooth, polished wood. No, you can't have it.
I love them.
All right, Quest, stop being so cool. We're gonna lose one of our members of Rhodes and Company.
Y'all are just
hang
gonna,
out with you all the time.
when Rhodes dies, y'all are all just gonna go work for Roland.
Yeah, we're like, yo, Quest, what up? Okay, you need a gang. All right.
Quillen who? Which girlfriend?
Yeah.
What? Excuse me.
What? Hi. Okay. And so yeah,
I think I found a new haunt.
Like, all you do is magic. That's not enough.
You have
Do you-
normal skin and
you-
eyes. What's wrong with you?
Okay, so
boring.
Does
The
this assassin
individual-
have a designation?
Yeah.
the,
Sorry, I was just skipping ahead to that part because I assumed we got all that information, but then we just started riffing on shit. So
the name of this erstwhile assassin is Polonia Morriston.
that's a cool name. I mean, I like the first part.
Polonia.
Yeah,
That is a cool name.
Morrinston.
Morningston or
Morris-
Aha.
Morriston.
Morriston. Oh, okay. Polonia.
like
Uh-oh.
that name.
Anya Morriston.
Now I'm making a character named Polonia for no other reason other than that name. And they have lacquered wooden skin, Kyle. Ha ha!
Well, okay, sure. Run with all of my ideas. I feel validated when y'all love my NPCs. It's like a little tiny bit of that love transfers over to me.
It's just like
They're so
our
good.
kind of love represents bodily disfigurement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like cool bodily disfigurement.
for us.
I'm just saying that
Could
when
you
my
repeat
players
that
like
phrase?
my NPCs,
Yep.
I feel like, oh, maybe they love me. So,
Wow.
I love you. No.
No.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm not cool with moon eyes and lacquered skin or arcane sigil tattooed skin and all of that. That's all I'm
I mean,
trying
Yeah.
to
Okay.
You could try.
Okay, but like,
Have you ever tried
Ran
lacquering
and I-
your skin and getting tattoos?
I mean, getting like demonic summoning circles tattooed on my skin is something I thought about.
Look, ever since that scene in Constantine where
Haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the Constantine movie that Keanu Reeves was in?
I know about
I
that.
have.
Oh, okay. Ever since, anyway, well, never mind.
So, with this information, if you are the caliber of professional that you profess to be, I'm certain you can
dig.
find what you need.
Fucking Kyle Dig. Character Kyle Dig right there. Rude. We will use all of our talents and our abilities to not only find out who this person's target is, but why they came out of retirement. We will give you what you need and more. So much more.
I feel like Ran just feels a drop of water is fall on his nose.
Ran or wife?
Wife.
If Ran feels water on their nose, then that's creepy AF.
Literal
If
magic.
Amalia
Drop
is
of-
up here, I'm out.
I feel like a drop of water just like, and you see Amalia just like,
Nat is upstairs from you, Ran.
Yeah, I mean there is an attic up here, and that's where all the spiders live. So
What about the whispers? You're the spider.
They're everywhere.
Those are just in my head, according to my doctors. So
Fair. So, you are escorted out. It is dark outside, because it's always dark outside. There's a fog drifting through the streets. You can hear snippets of conversation, on the breeze. What do you do?
It's time to gather information.
yeah, I mean, I'm totally gonna study Morriston, right? To see what I can figure out. Because we don't have any idea where they are, other than Night Market, correct?
Correct.
Sure. So I'm gonna study this person, see like what kills have been attributed to them, and like what their MO is, and like where they hang out and stuff like that. That's like kind of what my jam is at this point.
All right.
I would like to know that information too, so I could try and attune for their ghost victims.
For their ghost victims?
Yes,
Victim ghosts.
victim ghosts.
Oh God. I wonder. Yeah, is Adriana gonna show up? That's what I want to know.
Who is Adriana?
Wife's sister,
My sister, who may or may not exist.
who may or may not exist. We haven't decided yet. Like,
If she did exist, it's definitely dead.
yeah.
But probably not assassinated?
I don't know, but yeah, but does Adriana hang out with me? Like, just follow me around? White doesn't know. He thinks that.
Would you like me to attune to you?
I
We can
mean,
solve this question.
Okay, well let's
anyway. Yeah, I know. We're focusing on this. I was just curious.
No, this is good. We can make it a downtime clock. I'd be interested in that.
I mean, I have half of my 8 clock who murdered my sibling clock down. So once I figure that out, Wythe is going to be like, finally, 2 points in skirmish for a reason. All right.
So you are attempting to gather information on this assassin's previous kills and methods and so forth. Yes?
Right. I mean, Wythe is like, we're not going to be able to find even retired, like a professional assassin easily unless we understand what their MO
How they
is
work.
and how they, yeah. So that's going to be a study. If that's okay with you,
Yeah,
there's some gather information.
Sure.
It's interesting because our goal is to find their target. And normally, when I need to track down an assassin in the game, what I do is I try to find out who they have a hit out on and show up.
And this time, you're trying to find out who they have the hit out on.
Yeah, it's
Right,
kind of funny.
All right,
Yeah,
so let's get that gather information roll.
6.
That's a 6. That is fantastic. You get
Nice.
more than the usual information. So they are principally known as a sniper, but not with regular ammunition, right? Let me look
Do
up
they
this.
use ice bullets that melt inside of the body and then you can never figure out where the bullet is?
That would be cool, but no.
I'm pretty sure they use the electroplasmic bullets that kill the spirit when they stab the person.
I mean, that would make sense.
The
Except you
electroplasmic-
can't. That only impacts ghosts. I don't feel like you
Yeah.
can kill the soul with those. You have to use special ammunition to destroy the soul separately from the body, I think.
Yeah. The electroplasmic ammunition is good for like sniping ghosts and shit.
Yeah. Well, there's also an assassin crew thing that I'm referring to.
Oh,
which
okay.
actually
Oh,
lets
is
you
it?
kill the
Oh,
soul when
okay.
you kill
Okay.
someone.
Oh,
That's
cool.
what I'm getting at. Anyway, ignore me.
So anyway, no, the thing is that the ammunition that they use leaves almost nothing left of the physical body in general once it hits the target.
That's gross. Is it cauterized like flame? Or like what are the
Do they like goop? Like what happens?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm the chunks or whatever that's left.
Do they goop?
Gooba-dee,
No.
gooba-darn.
When
Do they burst into ash?
much more like ash. Yes, there are little floating sparkly bits left for a moment, and that's it.
Man,
Oh, it's a disruptor rifle from the Mandalorian.
It's not from the Mandalorian. It's way older than that in Star Wars.
I know.
But
I know.
come
Too
on,
bad.
didn't anybody ever play Dark Forces in the 90s?
No.
Listen, didn't
I
anybody
didn't.
ever watch? Didn't anybody ever watch Empire Strikes Back? When
Yes.
Vader's like, "No disintegrations."
right.
But that's a pretty far step away from understanding the disruptor rifle.
Did
history.
anyone ever read the EU books about the bounty hunters? Because they had plenty of those in those.
did
books.
Yeah, IG-88 ended up as the. Never mind.
IG-88 was the Death Star.
Yes, IG-88 was the brain of the Death Star. When it blew up.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Wars in the Stars, episode 1.
La Guerra de las Galaxias. So
Oh,
that's what they call it in Mexico. They call it the War in the Galaxies.
Yes.
It was not well translated back then.
that's
in the
way
70s.
that's
That's a way
actually a cooler name than
It's a
Star
much
Wars.
cooler-
Okay, to
But
be fair, Star Wars is a pretty cool name. We're just desensitized to it now.
Yes, exactly. Anyways, the other thing about their MO is that they were known. Basically, they only took jobs, not only, but they almost exclusively took jobs against people who were government officials of some
ooh, an
of some
anarchist.
sort.
Nice. Okay. And now Rand as a person wants to become their best friend and doesn't want to find out anything about who they're going to kill. And in fact, can we just help them kill everybody?
Our job was not to stop them.
Right.
No, I know. I understand.
Although,
Yeah.
actually, this does bring up an interesting point. Our employer, if we can ascertain a little information about them, we might be able to figure out who they're worried about it targeting.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, get up on that information. Maybe we have more to sell. Like who?
Exactly.
Yep. So we know the ammunition. We know the kinds of people. What I'd be interested in knowing, sort of like, give Wythe or the crew an idea of where we should be looking for. Like, are the shots extraordinarily far distance and it's like amazing trick shots? Is it, like, where can we start looking for perches or like setups if we know anything like that from that?
I'd want to do that. And I'd also want to, I think I would want to try and see if I could attune to any spirits who have lost, like, not only are ghosts, but like they don't have any physical bodies left, if they're gone.
I
So,
have a dumb idea.
what's your dumb idea?
Well, to look at the history of this individual, see if they have any particularly notable murders. And, if you kill government officials, those people tend to have important families, maybe somebody who has gathered information on them over time.
We could. Oh no! We're gonna find that one rich kid who has nothing to do.
I just
other
want to
than-
say, I want to
I
get
was
the
gonna
score.
say,
We're going to gather information all night and do the score next week.
Nope, we have
listen,
two.
I just want to talk to some ghosts.
There we
Okay,
go.
so first of all, let's go with what Eyes' gather info first.
Thank you.
Eyes, you would like to attune so that you can speak with the ghosts of their victims. Yes?
Yes. And see, like, yes. When they were most vulnerable or whatever. It's gather information, right? So it's not risky or anything. Yeah.
Yep, it's just
Correct.
you can actually select fortune, I think, in there. I can't remember.
Oh, well, it's too late.
Oh, well, that's fine.
But I do get a +1 dice. Yay. No, straight. Oh my god.
5565.
Roll 20 likes me again.
So with the 6, you're going to get more than you would have gotten with the 5. The base level information is that there aren't any ghosts of their victims.
Interesting.
All of their victims had their spirits destroyed and dissolved by the spirit wardens. The next level information is that these government officials that were previously killed were often, when they were shot, were in the company of a spirit warden who was able to react quickly and get the corpse back to Bellwether Crematorium.
That's tea.
Oh man, let's see. Who do you sell sketchy spirit warden information to? That's the question. The spirit wardens?
Are we trying to sell what?
No. I was just saying, like, if we have information about spirit wardens being sketchy, who do you sell that information to?
Oh.
It might not be the spirit wardens themselves being sketchy. It might be just proper planning on our assassin's part.
What's the coincidence that the spirit wardens are going to hang out with each and every one of these individuals?
Not a coincidence. It's a plan.
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, then they have to be comfortable with knowing the spirit wardens / the spirit wardens need to know who these people are or care about them to have a conversation with them.
Well, if this, I'm sitting here like all the ways that it's weird because I feel like we could almost solve this just by gathering information a bunch of times, and I'm not sure where the go to place do crime part comes in.
It can be.
We just need to go to wherever they're...
It can be a little bit more abstract, I think. Sometimes we can abstract out the you know. It doesn't have to be a location. In other words, what are the plan types again? Let me pull that back up. It's on your character sheet.
So, like social deception.
I mean,
yeah, you've got occult
transport.
deception. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be a physical locale like a bank that you're breaking into or whatever.
We're going to do some research in the library.
So how would you find out who an assassin is going to kill?
Well, I guess were their previous targets like... Was there a lot of buzz around their previous targets? Like who is the most... Who's a pretty I was gonna say who's a pretty hot government official right now?
What I'm thinking is that we can look at the previous victims. Potentially, that information might be something we could use a social connection.
Right, that's what thing. Yep, the score would be this. Yeah, would be a social,
and then apply that over the current social circumstances in Doskvol, and maybe get it down to 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're gonna do the plan, it's gonna be a social connection, and it's gonna be based on what you guys find out as the latest victim, and or whatever.
Thinking I might be able to leverage the Strangford history to try to give a social connection to chat with some of these people.
Interesting.
Oop.
It's fine. It didn't sound that loud to us. Are you suggesting that Avmalia might come out of exile from her family?
Well, her family might hear about this weird story from this other family about how Avmalia visited them, and it's not going to make any sense at the time, and it'll open the door to that storyline. Yeah.
Bobby wants to be found.
What I was told earlier is that Avmalia wants to be hurt. Harmed, specifically.
Oh, I thought you said heard.
I said hurt.
That's what I heard.
Hurt. Sorry.
Yeah, me
hurt.
too. I heard.
Okay, well,
heard
Nat, as a concept, likes to play walking disasters.
Shocking.
Incredible.
Unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, with that in mind, what is your plan? Sounds like social.
Sounds like social.
I mean, I'm again, and this is me just repeating back what I think that I heard. What is your connection for social?
Are we
Well,
using
Yeah.
the Strangford connection, or are we using like the family of the most recent victim before?
Yeah. I mean, we're abstracting information about the previous victims, so like theoretically, we would find that out, and we'd skip over that part because planning is boring, and jump into duping some people.
So, social, negotiate, bargain, or persuade, or deception, lure, trick, or manipulate.
I guess we're.
And again, there's not a like. It's mostly knowing what you're trying to do, unless A or B, right? And then and then the details, either the method of deception or the social connection. Like,
I don't think we're deceiving them in any way, but we should probably have some light plan about how we're going to get them to tell us information
Right.
about.
I mean, I
deceased
thought that's
people.
what the connection was. I thought you were going to be like lean on the Strangford name to get us that information.
and who is it that you
Maybe.
want? But I would say more specifically who you're going to go talk to if it's social.
Well, that's the thing. Is like we don't know who's died, so theoretically we comb through the list and find someone important who has a connection to the Strangford family.
Right.
Okay, and you already had a 6 on that sort of. That was a survey, not a study. But anyways, we'll go with it because we said study.
Or you could roll another one if you want.
I mean, if you want.
Nah, I'm not gonna about it. It's fine. Let's roll with it. I don't want to bog. And you got.
I thought we were, looking for a situation to understand it.
So you're looking for the previous victim. The previous victim was not a local, but rather a high-level imperial bureaucrat. And you're probably wondering,
Who?
Who? And that's a really good question.
Who
So
are
so-
you?
I'm under the impression they had a lot of previous victims based on the phrasing used in the past.
They were a master assassin, so they didn't kill like 1 or 2.
Yeah. So I'm thinking most of them are government officials.
Are they all the
Someone's
same?
got to have a connection.
Yeah.
Because an imperial official, I probably don't have a. Oh, hi, how the kids kind of connection on.
So so mark out that.
Unless I do.
I don't know. You told me that you were looking for their last victim before they retired.
That had
I
a
didn't say last. It's just a
Right.
previous victim.
A previous victim.
That specifically had a connection with the Strangford so that we could pull on Avmalia's family for.
So I'm going to turn that back around on you, Nat.
Tuesday.
And I'm going to say, what sorts of government officials outside of their own family do you think the Strangfords would have connections to?
Well, the Strangfords are a pretty big deal. So I'm thinking they'd have connection to the city council. I was getting there.
Okay, sorry.
Connection to the city council. They don't have connection particularly with the ministry, because they are at odds and kind of classically have been. And they definitely have connections with the other Leviathan hunting families, which aren't technically government, but they're like, at least in the past, it's pretty damn close to.
They're effectively the Leviathan hunters basically work for the noble families. So
Yeah. But I mean, the noble families who run the Leviathan hunting ships aren't technically government, but at least in the past, definitely have acted as a pseudo government.
Shocking. People with power support each other? That's
What?
weird.
Money
Weird.
being abused
Money
when you
being
don't put
abused?
checks and balances on the extent of its use? What?
How weird, and unlike, oh god, I can't even finish this as a joke.
How?
Big moon ran.
Yeah, sorry.
Don't
I
we
try.
Don't we love
Real
politics?
big moon.
Yep, my eyes have went from a full moon to an eclipse.
Oh, Jesus.
So, a previous victim. Let's do this. A previous victim was in the Dunville family,
Right.
which is one of the other city council noble families. So there's your social connection.
Oh god, this is
Do we have a
terrible.
name of the person who's died? I'm thinking of Marcus Dunville, but that's just me.
I was actually I had
Well,
written down. This is not a joke. I had written down Narcus.
Oh, doing it.
Narcus?
Marcus
Can
with
we-
an N.
Oh, okay.
What about just Chad?
Listen,
Chad Dunville.
listen. All these names that have become memes, and mine is one of them. Even though I am the least Kyle that I know.
Kyle's a meme?
Kyle is a dude who. Kyle and Chad are buddies. Kyle chugs Monster energy drinks and is always driving like ATVs and stuff, and it's a whole
This is
thing.
this new. Actually, that does kind of describe my cousin-in-law, Kyle.
Is this like the whole like, oh, Jessica's are like preppy mean girl?
It's like Karen always wants to talk to the manager.
Yeah.
Chad and Stacy, the whole incel
I
bullshit.
feel like this is pretty much just white people shit, though, right?
I mean, you're not wrong because let me say, if there are memes around names that are common among people who aren't white, I'm not indulging.
Hello.
I'm just going to leave those stereotypes right there where they are, and somebody else can deal with those. My lane is white folks. So, all that to say, you have your social connection, you have your
God, this
plan.
is such-
Let's do an engagement roll.
I really feel, and I've said this before, as a player, I am bad at Blades in the Dark because I never want to go after these scores that are so, like, out of our depth. I'm like, yo, let's just go for easy shit and slowly build, and everyone's
It's
like,
not that you're
"Let's
bad
talk
at
to
Blades
a
of the
fan."
Dark. It's that this group has a different vibe to it.
Yeah,
we
because-
want to steal boats and take names.
Like to be fair, like the be careful, incremental growth, stake to your lane is a very valid way to play Blades in the Dark.
No, I know.
Absolutely.
I just it's not for this group. I'm not good at playing Blades in the Dark. I love playing with y'all, but it's very not my way for you to be like, let's talk to people on the city council because my family kind of knows them. I'm like, yo, we're grubby ass street folk. The
I mean,
city
listen.
council people aren't going to talk to
Speaking
us
of
about
which,
it.
speaking of
was-
which, eyes, Liza, can you
Yeah.
make me look pretty?
And not it's like not
Yes.
wet.
And not
Yeah,
wet.
No,
You want me to get you some nice clothes?
maybe we should have to approach them on a day it's raining.
Oh God! All right.
Yeah, I
So,
don't think-
what's your
engagement
load?
roll.
What's your load?
Light?
Light.
Light. This
Okay.
feels like a
Oh
light.
God! Let's all go heavy and just go over these people's.
Y'all did that last time. So, okay, let's look at engagement roll. Do you have... Let's look at major... I'm going to do this slightly different. You got one die to start with. Okay? Let's look at your major advantages. Is the operation particularly bold or daring? I don't think so. Does it
Okay.
expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Maybe?
Like,
So insofar as the target is the Dunville
is the
family,
Dunville family or
maybe. Insofar as the target is the assassin, no.
No.
A previous
All right.
victim
Yeah,
would
I think of the target as the assassin.
Okay.
All right. Can friends or contacts provide aid or insight? That's the whole thing. So I'm just going to say yes. Like that is the jam.
You gotta name drop the shit out of your family, or we're not even gonna get past like the back door where they give out free clothes
No.
to poor people.
Wow, that was very
That was
specific.
awfully specific.
That's because that's what they used to do with like tatty old rags in like Victorian eras. It's just like houseless folks would show up and they'd be like, "Here, you can have all this. We can't wear it."
Is your target a lower tier? No. Target.
Maybe someday.
Oh my
Y'all literally don't even consider jobs against lower tier.
They're like, that's kind of tacky, like punching down.
Sure.
Maybe someday.
District modifiers. You get. Do you get anything for special for?
I mean, are these people? We specifically tried to find people in Night Market, but I feel like the Dunvilles or Dunlaps or whatever are not in Night Market.
Probably in Brightwall. That's what it's called.
Which, by the way, is like
I was
cops
so...
hang out there and just walk around, and if you look poor, they kick you out.
Yeah.
Not that that's ever happened to any of my family.
Not that that's like what happens to almost every single black person in the town that I work in.
I consider that some of my that has happened to my Mexican in-laws. Yeah. During the day, yes, because probably they're just cleaning houses.
God,
That's was the thing. They were there. Just bad experiences. I'm just saying. I understand.
That hurts me.
It's a thing. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah. Okay. Where? Oh, yes. I have the whole thing. Okay, good. Yes, I'm glad that I looked up some things.
I'm not. I hate that voice.
That's
major
not
disadvantage
ominous.
is the operation
Yes.
overly complex or contingent on many factors. No, because I don't even know what your operation is.
I feel like we're just like, hey, we're looking for who's gonna get killed.
I don't even know what
you're.
This might actually be a situation where this score leads us to another score to find the actual information.
I was joking about how y'all were going to end up not even having a score. Like, you're just going to do all the prep tonight and then do the score next night. But we're almost there. It's almost 9:30. I mean, it is 9:30.
The Whispers had to chit-chat. It's been a
It's
while.
fine. It has.
Like,
It's no
this
worries.
score- like,
Not-
I'm just saying, this session would have been pretty sweet if it was just Whisper Sisters all day.
No. Listen, I want to be
Sisters!
clear. You cannot just diss my friend Rand like that. Like, it would be cool if Rand wasn't here. I'm like,
you
I
could
didn't-
have.
Come
I
on.
didn't comment on how good this is. I just said that this other thing would have also been pretty sweet.
Listen, the Whisper Sisters could have stolen a boat.
Oh God!
Listen.
you guys would have both died.
Yes.
If you're like, yeah, time to
Yes.
do
No,
rituals.
we would have been great.
I mean, I'm saying you would have been great. You would have flamed out in the greatest way. As you're both trying to do rituals and claw people up,
I
and you
mean,
get
do I
shot.
think we would have gotten a boat out of it? No, but
No.
it would have been
Right.
great.
Sure.
All right, I'm rolling with your 2 dice.
Y'all have
Let's see what
fun.
happens.
It's my turn to have fun.
You got a 5 on your engagement. Mixed result. You're in a risky position when
Yeah,
the
we look
action
poor.
starts.
Why are you poor people here?
So, you have gotten an audience with one of the Dunvilles. I think while not Lord and Lady Dunville, I think perhaps one of their other family members, one of their sons-in-law, has chosen to spoke. You've gotten an audience with him. And you're there, he's kind of eyeing you, and Avmalia, tell me about how you are talking to him. Yes.
Well, Avmalia isn't really a great conversationalist. So
and yet, this is the approach that you have chosen.
Yeah. So I imagine there's a bunch of they ask a question and she just gives a borderline very creepy response.
That's probably why you're in a risky position.
And then they politely move on to a new topic
So-
a few times.
So what brings a Strangford into the Dunville home?
Murder.
Guards!
Yeah, right. No, so it's immediately like
Oh my gosh.
Wythe like stands up and he's like, "Excuse me, this meeting was an idea of our good friend Avmalia, but it's also for me and my own research." And he produces a fine cover identity that it's his old identity that says that he's an inspector, pretty much. And he's like, we're interested in the movements and activities of what we previously thought of as retired assassin. And so he pushes forward the Find Cover identity, which is one of my.
I want to back up real quick.
Yep.
Okay, never mind. Keep going. I want to see where you're going, and then I may have a question. I'm sorry. Please.
Sure. And so, in the inspectors, my team and I, undercover, needed a reason to visit you that was not overt, and Avmalia was kind enough to allow us to come in, and use her as a disguise, if you will, just in case.
Yes, the Strangfords have been leaning on our city's services for support more recently after, recent events.
Right.
And so a Strangford brings an inspector into the Dunville home in an attempt to investigate us for murder?
No. No, I'm sorry to offend you. Are you familiar with Polonia Morriston?
Yes.
We are worried that she is active again.
And why would you come talk to me about this?
Well, Narcus was killed, bless his soul. Whatever's left of it.
You get a stone look.
Wow.
And we were wondering if you might
suck.
have gathered some information on the killer back when it was more salient.
And I would share this with you. Why?
We can catch her so that you can have justice. We want the same thing here.
I think I'm going to ask you for some sort of a role here.
Okay. This feels appropriate.
We should do a group sway.
Group sway.
I think
Okay.
Sure.
Who's going to lead?
What Isis said, but sure.
Eyes is here as one of our operatives in our gang of investigators, and therefore all they needed to do was stare at them with cool ring light eyes.
Yeah, they give us a stone face glare. I give them a stone face glare.
Nailed it.
Grr. I am small, but I am spook.
Small but spook.
Small but spook.
So, who's going to lead that role?
I will.
Okay.
This is in sway.
Yes. So everybody give me this is risky limited.
Okay, can you make desperate? Can you make group roles trade effect
for
position?
How many dice do people get for this right now? I got one.
I have 2.
1.
And I'm gonna push
Can we push
myself.
ourselves?
You can.
Yeah, I'm gonna push myself. I have 2 dice.
Can
I'm
we
also going to push
trade
myself.
position for effect? Maybe you can get a little.
How
desperate
would
on
you
Hinge.
do that?
I mean, I think Wythe gets a little bit more creepy and like over familiar with whoever this is. So obviously we're sitting on like 2 couches, like separated by a table. And I think Wythe gets up and without looking at this person, like looks off into the corner of the room and stares at this corner of a room and like walks closer to this person and then like sits right next to them and is like, we could use your help. And his arm is going to go.
Is this, you're still doing sway, not command, right?
Yep. Yeah, but how am I making it
the-
desperate? I am getting, yeah. I'm not trying to command
Amalia
him.
is trying to appeal to their sense of humanity, which she is a very desperate move for her because she
Right.
doesn't have any.
Right. And the assumption is that any aristocracy has humanity left is a bold and desperate assumption.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
I mean, you don't have to. You can say no. That's fine. I was just. This is how.
I'm just trying to ask how you're doing that. Doopy doo and eyes. How would eyes be trading position for effect here? Getting more desperate in the hopes to have a greater effect.
I mean, I could. Gosh, I really want to use my compel special ability.
What does compel do?
I can attune to the ghost field to force a nearby ghost to appear and obey a command I give it. And
I think
I'm
that'll be
not
a different
terrified by the
action.
ghost.
How is
That's
that
not
helping us?
That is not a sway.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to reduce you to desperate zero effect if you do that.
We know this
know, I
person
just
doesn't
wanna-
have a ghost because
yeah,
it's
but
assassin.
there are ghosts everywhere in Doskvol.
So that would be a separate action, I think. than
Right.
this.
Also, that is a good idea for us to try and escape. You can compel a ghost then to cover our escape by eating the souls of everyone in this house, which I'm sure they have wards, but that's fine.
You know, I should compel a ghost to help me find some skin.
You know what? We're throwing away Rhodes and Company. We are going full cultist, which is without a god. Anyways,
Okay.
anyway, point being, Doopy
Point
Doo,
being,
how are you going to be desperate and try to convince them? Because you're trying to be all like social and shit.
well, I would level them with my ghost eyes stare, and don't try and convince them that this is in their best interest. I don't know.
I feel like this is the okay. I'm just gonna say I don't think we're gonna be able to trade position for effect on this because I
Okay.
feel like
Yeah,
this is not.
I'm a lowly seamstress. Like, what?
I can see it for, like, I can see off Malia because she, like, starts to, like, drip and she gets emotional, so she gets invested into it. It can be, kind of potential to reveal the circumstances. But if we have to do everybody, which I'm actually not certain on if you do for group roles or not.
I just don't know if you can trade position for effect
Yeah.
with the group roles. That's
Yeah, I'm gonna say at least in this case I don't think that's gonna work.
That's fine.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it was supposed to be limited, but I
It
didn't.
doesn't matter for this. I
So are you doing a group roll? Is
yeah,
that what's happening?
everybody do a group
Okay.
roll.
Hey.
God damn it. Oh my god.
So
Okay.
one stress,
One stress.
Oh
Sure.
my goodness.
and your highest roll is a 4,
which
That
is
was-
a partial success.
which
Yep.
is a partial success, but with a serious consequence. I need to look something up.
Well, we did risky, not
Here.
desperate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. You have a consequence, not a serious consequence. You are correct. You went back on that, which was, I think, apparently a good choice.
I mean, we didn't go back on it. It was just straight up not allowed. For
Well, it just wasn't working out. Like,
The Overlord
Yeah.
said no, so we couldn't do it.
listen, I'm not an overlord.
I'm poking fun.
The ghost manager.
The ghost manager. There we go. I was trying to find the. There's a chart that I wanted to look at real quick.
Is the DMS, Demonic Managerial Solutions.
I'm the demon manager. I
CEO.
mean- Listen, if that worked. There's a thing I was looking for, and now I can't find it. Oh well, it doesn't matter. I think that what happens is you're going to progress to it. You're going to get some information, but it's going to progress to a desperate situation, and that's you're going to be the consequence,
Okay.
unless somebody wants to resist that consequence. Somebody
Yeah,
who's
where's
got-
Bartos?
Be
I know.
Resolve?
Errol shows
No.
up.
The insight. Yeah, it's the insight.
okay? Are you going to resist? You're going to resist slipping to a desperate situation?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay. All right. So let's make your resistance roll, and tell me how you're doing that. Like you can see them getting
well-
visibly upset.
is a bit upset, and how do I diffuse that? I think if Malia just puts her hand. I imagine she's wearing gloves, like nice gloves, so that
Waterproof
isn't
gloves.
obviously
Yep.
damp. And she puts it on her shoulder and says, "Look, I'm sorry. We're just Narcus deserves justice. We're all on the same team here. I promise."
Okay. Let's see your resistance roll.
I already had. Oh no, roll 20. Don't bork. Please don't bork.
Down to Bork.
Bork, bork, bork.
Okay, I think it's gonna work.
There.
Oh my
5.
god!
You rolled 3 ones.
Oh, what?
Wow.
So you're gonna take 5
Holy
stress.
holy
And listen,
shit.
for once, Amalia has some stress to deal with. That
I can't. That is
Oh.
fucking amazing.
My God.
3 ones,
That's
like
rough.
3d6, rolling 3 natural ones. Bam, beam, bomb, boom.
Whenever I roll like 3d6s or 4d6s, I like to think about if these were D&D character stats. That's a 3.
This
Yeah.
is 3.
Well,
That's a
Dubstep.
straight 3.
That goes right into the charisma. Except if anybody uses any sort of
Yikes.
charisma lowering thing, you will then be unconscious.
So, the I will tell you. Yes, you are able to kind of keep the situation from escalating, but what they tell you is, again, of limited result.
Well, doesn't limited mean that we have to do more than one check to actually get what we're trying to do?
It's if we do a clock, yeah. I'm not doing a clock on this one because it's already 9:45. Yeah, no, it doesn't necessarily mean that. So, anyways, yes. Very little was known about Narcus's killer. It was such a shame as he had such a promising future in the church.
The church.
Yes, of course, the church.
And can
Obviously.
obviously can I do like a flashback study to have looked at corresponding things between all of the killers? Like, is there a pattern of religious identity
That you can
amongst?
see now in hindsight.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's one stress.
Okay.
Yeah, do it. I think a study is appropriate for that. I think that makes sense.
Okay. And I'm gonna push myself because this fucking character. I mean, yeah. All right, come on. Oh my god! All right, 3.
Well,
Wow.
They were so the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh is the state religion,
Yep.
and they were all upstanding members of the church.
Okay. And so yeah, Grind like squints when they say that. It's like, ah, yes.
that's why they always had spirit wardens handy.
Yeah. The church. Well, at least we know that. Well, that's interesting. Yes, of course. The church's influence.
But did anybody after he was killed? Did anybody research about Polonia? Did anybody make a? Did you ever see one of those those crazy boards and stuff?
Does anybody have a lot of red string that they have attached to
If
random?
you are asking if an investigation was made, yes, of course. If you are asking if the killer was found and brought to justice, then no.
No, I'm asking if anybody took a personal interest within the family.
Yes, of course my husband was concerned for his cousin. Did we take a personal interest in finding the assassin? We leave that to law enforcement. We leave that to the Bluecoats. Why would we take that ourselves?
I
You
look at
trust
Wythe.
them to.
I just look at Wythe.
Because the Bluecoats sometimes are beyond the grasp of individuals without money to throw around in the direction of the investigations.
Well, what I can tell you is that not only do I have no knowledge of the investigation, as far as I know, it didn't progress very far anyway.
What happened?
No significant evidence was found. All the leads went cold. No arrests were made.
All right.
We are fortunate as a city that whoever carried out this crime, and we know the same rumors as the names that you mentioned, appears to have been inactive for several years.
And that's why we came to you today in such a state and like gestures that are obvious, like awful clothes. And it's like,
She's back.
we're worried that they're going to strike again.
Ooh. I think that's worth another roll. It sounds like, and tell me if I'm wrong, that you're trying to, and this is not me telling you what you're doing, this is me asking if I'm picking up on what you're putting down. Are you trying to sway them with that?
I mean, I would absolutely put behind Wythe's like emphasis that they are in a position where this might be a concern of theirs because of who they are.
So are you trying to command instead?
No, sway.
Okay,
I mean, I'm
all
trying
right.
to use logic, not like
Okay.
do what
Trying
I
to get
fucking
down on their
say.
level.
I got
Or
you.
get
I mean,
up
I-
to their level.
It's fine.
I could see like consort too. You're trying to be like we're on the same side. Blah, 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 blah.
How many
Right.
points do you have in consort?
Well, okay, so
think-
I
No, go ahead.
put 2 points in consort, and then every time I was being Wythe, Kyle was like, "That's not consort, that's sway," and so I changed both of those points to sway.
So
And that-
here's the thing. You can use either one. It is a question. I mean, you can try whatever, right? The thing is, which is going to have a greater effect? If you're using consort type techniques, consort is with like people at your station, at your level, who you might have some other connection with. Whereas,
Right,
and whereas you're leaning on that connection rather than on your logic. So if
Right,
you're-
for sure.
Yeah.
And for me, that was my not understanding consort, because consort for Wythe was never about us being on the same level. It was more like how convivial he tried to convey the messages, right?
Yeah,
Where it was
that's
more like
that's-
we're having a conversation here, and I'm not trying to sway you one way or the other, but
yeah. No, I think that feels like sway
okay.
to me. But you do what you want to do, and it just affects the level. The effect. So
Sure.
you're in a position. You're a risky position. I think if you try to sway based on that, you've heard that the assassin's coming back out of hiding. With that, sharing that information, because I don't think you shared that before.
I did say that.
I mean, we both did say that at the beginning.
Then I apologize because I missed that.
That's fine.
We'll call that risky standard.
Okay, and then I'm going to trade.
Can I assist?
So you're going to trade position for effect. How are you doing that? You're just getting
Right. I'm gonna lean in heavy on the sort of on the like touching. So Avmalia like patted them on the shoulder
that
with
is desperate.
right, exactly. And Wythe is going to sort of squeeze, like, so he had put his arm around them sort of on the couch, and his hand is going to come around, and you know that weird like I'm here for you arm squeeze that people do. this is what White is doing while he's talking. He's not palpitating. I keep doing this. He's not like palpating the arm, like, hey. He's just like squeezing it in a overly familiar way.
Okay. So you're doing that. You are. Avmalia is trying to assist with the sway.
Mm-hmm.
How is Avmalia assisting with the sway? Tell me about it.
Well, Avmalia, I think since the crutch you're leaning on here is like the worry that this person is active again, my thought is that Avmalia could attempt to look afraid. Which is really a very stressful act for her.
Right. Having
Okay.
Showing emotion?
Yeah, showing human emotion. How does one do that?
Yeah.
She's looking up the Wikipedia page on frightened and being like, okay.
Wiki ask, how do I emote?
How do I emote? That's interesting. Yeah, okay. So you got that. Anything else? You gonna push yourself or anything like that?
No, I mean I
Would you like a devil's bargain?
I was gonna ask for a devil's bargain.
First of all, do either of you want to offer wife a devil's bargain?
I have an idea,
Okay.
but I'm not sure it's actually.
Well, let's start
a
with
very
it.
good
Let's
one.
start
Yeah.
with it.
So I'm thinking that like this person decides that they have a certain confidence in wife, so that like, so for instance, if they have a trouble in the future, they might come and be like, "Hey, remember when I helped you out? Favors back. You know, you're the inspector I can trust."
Good luck trying to find wife at any sort of official
I mean,
place.
It's
but
a devil's bargain.
Sure. So they'll
find you.
Yeah, they'll find me. Sure.
Who's gonna find you?
This individual we're talking to.
Yeah.
The
So
Dunballs.
basically, you're gonna owe them a favor.
Yes.
But in a role specifically designed for like something that they think an inspector would be able to handle, right? Like not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
approaching them as an inspector for the
So
Right.
it sounds like what we're saying is maybe that we would start a danger clock of wife is discovered to no longer be an inspector.
I mean,
That's
everybody
one way to pull
knows.
that.
Well,
Okay.
that, or it could be another, but okay, but another thing, what if the bluecoats get word of Wythe trying to pass?
So
it?
okay, we'll do this. You can get an extra die, but you're going to take an extra heat. Based on that. Just essentially reflecting that.
And we have no heat right now, right?
Correct.
Because somebody's in prison. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that's
you have
fine.
2 heat. No, you have 2 heat from somebody overindulging.
Oh,
And not
and that's
paying a coin.
How,
and not paying a. Okay.
how dare you call me out like this?
Listen, that's what I'm here for, is to call you out, Jesse.
All right. I
Coin is
take that.
precious.
I take that for this. Okay, 6.
Boom.
You did take
Great.
the devil's bargain?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 on a desperate great. That is
6.
Blades in the Dark right there.
Right there.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
And you were, remind me again, because we got way off, what the actual, you were trying to sway them to? Oh, yeah, that this person, that they're coming back out of hiding or back out of retirement.
Right. They're coming out of retirement, and that is bad for all people in your position.
And clearly, suddenly, this individual looks very concerned. Narcus looks very concerned. No, Narcus was the one that was killed.
Arcus is dead.
Yeah.
Marcus is dead.
Who is this?
And
We don't know. We have never learned their name.
nameless
It
person.
was the cousin or
We
something.
were no, it was a son-in-law of Lord
It was a son-in-law, but we never learned
Lord
their name.
Dunville. We're gonna say his
Snarkus.
name is
Smarkus. Schmarkus.
his name is
Schmarkus.
Aldo. Aldo.
Aldo.
Aldo Dunville.
Why is that the bed? I had a bunny named Aldo.
Odo.
I wasn't decrying it.
No, but
I
Jesse was.
saying it as I was
It's
right.
just very close to Aldi's.
Aldi's no. Wait. Anyway.
Aldi's
Okay.
what? Jesse.
As in
Dunlop's.
Aldi's, the supermarket chain here. Thank you very much.
Oh,
Thank you.
I was making a much crass reference.
I know. I understand.
So, anyways,
And then you said
point
it
B.
and then pretended
I
like you
did.
didn't,
I
so.
did. No. So he looks very nervous and tells you that he's concerned because his husband. I just had the name right here. We're gonna go.
Aldo's
Schmarkus.
husband, Waldo.
Marcus.
Schmarkus.
Marcus's cousin.
Y'all are killing me.
Tarkus. Wait.
Thank you. Tarkus.
Christoph, his husband Christoph.
Christoph Tarkus Dunball, got it.
Christoph Dunville has just been elevated to elder within the church. And he is concerned for his safety.
Target.
If we can just tell him this and then pretend like, yeah, no, that's it. We did it. Boom. Nailed it.
Do a little due diligence on that, but
What?
What position did Marcus hold?
Narcus was an elder in the church as well.
they all elders. Kyle?
Were they all elders, Kyle?
I mean, that's what my shitty study was
A
supposed to.
They were all associated with it. I won't make you do another flashback because this was what you were studying before. They were not all elders, but they were all held some position of responsibilities.
So you just need to find the person who they all went up against. And then that was the person who's like, hey, I don't actually need to, be worthy of this position. I just need to kill my way into these positions. Like,
It's
say,
a church of assassins.
So, are you doing anything else here, or do you think you have enough information to
Thank you for your time.
solve the crime, as it were?
We have a name.
We have progress.
I mean, do we?
We
Okay.
might have to do more.
We have Christoph Dunball.
I think more salient, I'm not sure we're getting any more here.
Yeah, I feel like this person is not gonna. I mean, because I don't.
So, I'm gonna make a suggestion here.
Tuesday.
Because we're at the hour,
The witching hour.
almost. I do have to be done by 10:30 my time.
SNL time.
Eddie Murphy is back. Listen, it's a big deal.
Eddie Murphy's back?
He hasn't been on SNL in like 30 something years because of a
Okay.
dispute. It's a whole
But Eddie
thing.
Murphy's like back in the media.
He's got this. He did his Dolomite Is My Name movie, which is a huge thing.
Oh.
Oh, I
Listen.
just thought he was going to be retired to the I'm going to do shitty bro comedies about kids for 40 years.
I mean, he did because they was making tons of money.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, listen, sometimes you just got to be, you know what? This pays better than all the other shit.
Yeah, I mean, that was, yeah, I had a friend who was like getting upset about how these people that aren't as famous as they used to be are doing all these Hallmark movies. And I was like, yo, you know how much they make?
Okay.
Yep.
This would be a great post-game conversation.
So, you're fair. The point that I was going to make was this might be just a score that we pick up
Yep,
next time.
That's fine.
If, and this is a big if, do all three of you think you will be available next week on the 28th? Because
Yes.
that is in between Christmas and New Year's, and some people might be traveling or whatever.
I mean, I'm going to be fine.
I've got Zippo going on. Jesse? You're the one, you and Nat are the ones with the hip happening social lives.
Hip happening.
happening
hip
social
happening.
lives. I believe I am free on the 28th.
Nat? Nat's pretty
For
steady.
sisters?
The body don't stop.
The body's at the flow. Are you gonna be back? You're gonna be back, Nat. You're pretty regular. You and Ran are
Yeah.
almost always here.
Yes.
Okay.
8 o'clock every morning.
Hey, once upon a time,
Not-
I was
not-
also regular.
You know, we would
Once
love to
upon-
have you in that stead again. I'm just saying. No, we are happy to have you here. I am happy to have you here.
Canon. No, the Wii was canon.
Yeah. I just realized I wanted to emphasize. I didn't want to diffuse it too much. Like, oh yeah, sure. But no, I am glad always to see my friend's face here. So we're going to do a quick end of session, not the payoff stuff.
This is just excuse.
Yep. XP. This is the first time we've never finished it.
I know I've been trying to avoid it, but it is late. Execute a successful espionage operation? Not yet.
No.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yes, we did. XP.
Yes.
Give us the XP.
Have you contended with challenges above your current station?
Yes.
Yes.
2.
Have you bolstered your crew's reputation or developed a new one? Yes.
Yes.
I think that's fair.
Strange. Look,
Well, and the whole thing with getting a
Community
rep with
contact and
yeah,
stuff.
I think that's good. Yeah.
I just mean whenever wife's around, you can always get that strange XP mark.
I mean, and both whispers.
Yeah.
Express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew.
I want a boat.
I say no. I'm going to say yes for a different reason, and that is the whole thing. I remember in particular Jessie's face when I described this club, and she's like, "This is where we belong. Like this should just be like our. It should almost be your lair."
I live
our-
here now.
I'm serious. Can I have a new vice prayer, Kyle? Kyle, I wanna go clubbing. Iz is going clubbing now.
With quests.
Yes.
Yep.
With part of quests.
Part of just your skin.
No, just a hand.
Ooh.
Oh, there is the whole thing there. Yeah. So, anyways.
I bet that hand would feel really good in some places.
Whoa! So, just saying. That you do have a crew advancement coming.
Yep. And we're not getting Crowsvale, I guess. Now we're getting a gang. Is
y'all
that
will-
what?
Y'all will
Anyway, we'll
figure
talk about it.
out.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
Talk.
God
Let's
damn
run
it.
through your individual questions real quick. Nat, you want to run through yours super quick?
I'm realizing now No, I did not make any desperate rolls.
No, only wife did.
Yeah. Just a challenge of knowledge or arcane power.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
What did you do that was knowledge or arcane power? I'm not saying no. I'm trying to remember.
Man?
Eyes did a couple of attunes. Did you do
I
it?
Right.
did. I did a tune.
But you
I
were,
don't think.
does it have to be specifically arcane knowledge?
No, it just says
No,
knowledge or
no.
arcane power.
Well, I
Yeah.
guess you
knowledge.
used your knowledge of the families in your
Like I used some logic.
Right. Which
stuff.
is yep.
Sure, a point. Why not? 1 point.
How does that not
Express your
count?
Beliefs, drives, heritage, background. Definitely express my
Yes.
background.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now-
Any sort of issues from drives to traumas? Not really.
No.
Oh, somebody doesn't have traumas yet. What's the how
There
large
are
is
two
the
things
clock?
in the list. Do we have to do this every week?
Yes. Yes, we do. God
Anyways,
damn it.
grind. What about your questions?
All right. Did I address a challenge with calculation or conspiracy? Yeah. I don't know how to address challenges with a conspiracy. Like that confuses me. Because I'm like,
To make a plan with others.
right? No. I understand that.
There's legal elements to a conspiracy.
Yeah. Right. You've expressed your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. Yeah. I lean it pretty heavy into the physicality, but he's also haunted now, so I'm trying to make him a little less intense and more hollow sounding. And I struggled with issues from my vice or trauma. I mean, not. I was gonna ask that dude if he's ever heard of my sister, but we didn't get that far. So
I think that's good. Eliza Bell,
I addressed a challenge with knowledge or arcane power. I attuned.
you did.
Woo!
Yay.
nice work.
Thank you. I expressed my beliefs, drives, heritage, or background. I tried to meet with my girlfriend. Met a possible new girlfriend?
Question.
Heritage of weird, spooky things? I don't know.
I think there were some drives involved in wanting to take someone's eyeballs out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that's
Yeah.
one. I think that's one.
Yeah. that's fair. I did drop skin a lot this session.
Drop skin. Boom, boom.
And
Is that just disrobing? Dropping skin?
No, that is
No,
not
that's
drop. No.
that's
Okay.
your
de-skidding.
skin, let me wear it.
I struggled with issues from my vice or traumas during the session.
You overindulged.
I mean, I overindulged, and I briefly taled about
Yeah, I think the overindulge counts at least
where
once.
when you asked me where I was, I didn't want to talk about it.
That's true.
3.
Cool. Excellent. Yeah. So, y'all got that. Let's go around super duper.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we're not doing downtimes. Don't cut
Nope.
that.
We don't get
That's
downtime.
a pretty.
Downtime is at the
It's-
end of a score.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get downtime per score.
That's bullshit.
So, let's go around real quick. Rand, you got 2 things. Anything you got going on, people to know about, and stars and wishes.
Oh God.
That's like 3 things I feel like. But what do I
fair.
have going on?
It's fair.
What do I have going on? Not that I'm still working on some stuff, and it's gonna be closer to the new year before which is really close. But I'm still edging that line. I've gotten back into Star Wars: The Old Republic, the MMO, and I'm digging it pretty hard. I've ran one flashpoint about 35 times. So anyway, my hyper focus is not useful in MMO situations. But that's fun. So let's see. One of my stars and wishes. Stars. I mean, it was good to have both of the Whisters back. I feel like I like when they play off of each other really well.
They play off each other
White-
so well they didn't even want you around. I
I know.
felt that
I mean,
here.
that's
Hey, don't
Hey,
bring
hey,
Jesse
hey,
into
hey.
this. I'm the only one who said that.
Okay, that's fair.
yeah, and sorry that I was late. I maybe I shouldn't have
fine.
come back. You guys could have done stuff.
We
But
would've-
anyway,
we've had a boat by now. We've
Yeah,
had a boat by
exactly.
now.
We
See,
could
that's
have
what I'm
had a
saying.
boat.
I'm
We
sorry.
would've had a boat.
It's White's fault. Yeah. So having both of the Whispers and having them just sort of like obsess over different things, but in a very similar way, where it's weird, creepy whispers about murder and then also skin and eyeballs. So I'm into it because I'm into a lot of stuff. And then wishes. I mean, I think Wythe just needs to. I need to put more effort into Wythe. I think the way I played him when I first had him around, I was like, man, this guy is a piece of trash. And so he's really behind Moreland, and I'm mad about that. As far as like skills, I'm like, oh yes, I have 2 points in this.
It's
Ugh.
fine.
I hate it. I hate it.
Look,
So your
look,
wish is
in-
to build up Wythe a little bit. Well, you can do that.
Yeah.
Look,
I mean, my wish is-
unequal character progression causing bad feelings. It's almost like it does happen. In
But-
Blades
Yeah.
of the Dark.
But I want to
Yep.
point out that it's because he has another advanced character. So he's got a character along with everybody else.
Right.
Sorry,
but I'm
sorry,
still.
sorry.
No, it's fine. I just no. My wish is that we get some gang action to get a few people, and we do I want to do like a Deathland score. That's like my thing
I know.
that we
I
keep talking about, and I'm like, come
We
on.
almost had one.
I know.
We almost did it today.
We were going
Yeah.
to, but Forda didn't come. So, no.
Yep.
All right. Jesse,
Hello.
you got anything
I'm
going on?
Jesse. Okay. Starting January 1st, I will be on VR in a D&D 5e campaign called
You're on
boy,
virtual
where-
reality. Is that what you
Variant
said?
roll.
Variant Roles.
I know.
Thank you for clarifying for the audience. Where D&D 5e campaign called Where Roots Remains, where I'm bringing back Piper from, new character. I'm getting my streams mixed up. There's a bunch of them. And then January 9th, I'm also going to be on Variant Roles with Kyle.
I'm going to talk
and
about that in
some
some
other folks.
details. Yep.
Yep. And then later in January, I'm going to be in a third camp. You'll see I live on Variant Roles now. Starting January, I'll be living in Variant Roles. And here. Yep.
Okay. And any stars
can
and
find
or
me-
wishes? Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh,
You also did have your thing. I'm sorry.
That's right. You can find me at Who's the Moose on the interwebs, Stars and Wishes, Stars, the Whisper Sisters. Also, another fantastic NPC with amazing eyes that I will covet.
Cool.
What? Wishes. I guess we did spend a lot of time trying to figure out what the heck we wanted to do in the beginning. But I also think that was just because it's been a while since I played a game. So I just need to get back into eyes. This is more of a wish for me. Like, you get back
That's
into
fair.
eyes.
That's legit. But Nat.
Hi, I am Nat. You can find me at CrimeNat on Twitter. I do editing and layout stuff for TTRPGs. I write some crap. I'm going to be on a new show called No Initiative in the new year. We do not have a date announced for that yet. So follow me on Twitter. Follow at No Initiative TV on Twitter and get the updates as they come. I had a great time today. My star has to go to Kyle for more sexy Takaroshi traits. And my wish has to go to finishing this score.
Fair. So, the only new thing I've going on, as Jesse mentioned very correctly, we will be our good friend Taryn, our good friend Maria, and our good friend Dan Gaston will all be playing a game of Mothership, which is a sci-fi horror game starting Thursday, January 9th, in the same slot, more or less, as Project VHS. So it's going to follow when Project VHS ends.
What a fucking crew.
I know, right?
I'm jealous.
So look out for that. If you like the movie Aliens, or if you like super creepy body horror and so forth, that makes wife look like somebody out of the Chronicles of Narnia, then yeah, because they're going to lean hard into that shit. So that's going to be what that is for 4 to 6 weeks. So that's going to be coming up soon on January 9th. It'll be I want to say 7 Central, I think. I can't remember for sure.
Alien or Aliens?
Aliens.
Aliens. Okay.
I vaguely remember the original Alien. Aliens is the one that, yeah. And I didn't see any of the Prometheus bullshit or whatever.
Okay, so The Thing is also another good touchstone. For
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
There's just in general.
Good.
So, stars and wishes. So, first of all, star to Ranlam for, like a champ, pulling out a character that they didn't really love, but finding ways to make the character more enjoyable to play. I personally understand very much the frustration of, I don't really like myself or like this character when I play this, or what. There's a nexus in there somewhere. It's just not enjoyable to play this character anymore. And finding ways to do that, I appreciate that, Rand. I do. That's a challenge. And my wish is that yes, that we finish this and get back to something like a rhythm.
It's like a boat heist.
Sure.
Can we just do the same kinds of scores for a second and not get any more goddamn boats?
All right.
Deathlands.
Thanks everybody for watching. This was fun. Thanks to some of our friends for coming to hang out. Enjoyed it.